Opening the era of black technology. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76. Lawyers are competent in their work. After listening to what Su Pinggan said, Jelan took Su Pinggan's business card and looked at Su Pinggan carefully. He had definitely seen this name there before, which gave him a very familiar feeling. He hesitated for a moment. I agree to your conditions, and I will work hard, Jelan said with a firm face. Su Pinggan smiled, took out a check that he had prepared long ago and handed it to Jelan. Go ahead, settle your mother's medical expenses first. I'll give you a week, and come back here to find me in a week, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Jelan took the check and looked at the amount, which was $300,000, a check from Citibank. This amount was enough for his mother's expenses for several months. Thank you, sir. I'm leaving. I will abide by the agreement, Jelan said seriously. I'll take you down, Su Pinggan said, raised his hand and drank the tea in the cup. The two stood up, and Su Pinggan sent Jelan into the elevator before returning with a relaxed smile. In the next 2 days, Su Pinggan reached an agreement with Herbert and Anton, two talented young men. There were only 3 people in France who had potential for star spirit to select. People were more valuable than quantity, and this was Su Pinggan's idea. In Paris, they also selected a law firm with great potential to invest in, spending €1 million to obtain 10% of the shares of Victory Shield law firm. After consulting, they directly registered a game company in the name of Jelan, the Three Musketeers Game Studio. As long as the annual revenue of the studio does not exceed the regulations, there is no need to pay taxes, which meets the requirements of the government's preferential policies for entrepreneurship. It is very easy for a lawyer to handle it. As an angel investor of the company, Su Pinggan enjoys options and perfectly avoids taxes. It must be said that lawyers are very capable. They started to purchase equipment directly. The equipment list was discussed and listed by Jelan, Herbert, and Anton. All of them are top-notch equipment. The 3 of them have a legitimate identity and income. Although it is not much, it is enough for the 3 of them to live in their daily lives. However, the free environment meets the requirements of the 3. The reason why Jelan was chosen as the legal person is very simple, because Su Pinggan installed a biological bomb in Jelan's brain. Jelan has the highest potential score. Giving Jelan a platform to play freely, the French R&D team is stable. After finishing the work of Jelan and the other 2, Su Pinggan just breathed a sigh of relief, and Gavin and the other 2 came. In Su Pinggan's suite, Su Pinggan talked with Gavin and the other 2. We abide by the agreement, Gavin said to York on behalf of Buck. In the future, you will feel lucky for today's decision, Su Pinggan said as he looked at the 3 people, and made a gesture of drinking tea. Gavin and the other 2 picked up their teacups and began to drink tea. After finishing the tea, they put down the cups. How much money did you invest in Black Fox Security Company? Su Pinggan asked. More than €7 million, Gavin said directly. I acquired 10 million, and you continue to lead Black Fox Security Company. In the future, the company will mainly serve the Apocalypse Group, and try to reduce external orders, Su Pinggan said directly. Does the operations department need to be retained? Buck asked. Of course. It is not so easy for a large international enterprise to rise. It will definitely face enemies from all sides. The operations department must be retained to eliminate the enemies on our way forward. However, we must control the number of people and keep it around 50 people. Quality is more important than quantity, Su Pinggan said very affirmatively. I understand. York is still in charge of the operations department, Buck said. How did you divide the work before? Su Pinggan asked. I am responsible for the overall operation of the security company and normal security work. York is responsible for the operations department, and Gavin is responsible for intelligence hidden in the dark, Buck said very concisely. Let's continue to operate in this mode. I will send the finance department back. The company will operate in a regular manner in the future, and train normal security personnel with the captain as the main force. In the future, my industry will be spread all over the world. The captain will be directly sent here, and the team members will be recruited locally, which can save costs, Su Pinggan said, and the 3 nodded. The 4 discussed a lot of things together. They had lunch together at noon before they separated. They agreed that Su Pinggan would take a lawyer to the Black Fox Security Company tomorrow to sign an agreement and officially change its name to Apocalypse Security Company. The next day, when Su Pinggan took a lawyer to the security company, he also took Jelan with him. The intention was very simple, to let Jelan understand that once the company encounters something difficult to solve, there are two choices. First, you can find a lawyer from the Victory Shield law firm to solve the problem. Second, you can find someone from the Apocalypse Security Company to solve the problem. It's Jelan's business to choose which method to take. Jelan did not speak along the way, but observed silently. This was Su Pinggan's instructions. At the Black Fox Security Company's headquarters, Buck signed an agreement with Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan paid a check for 10 million. As for how Buck and the other three would divide the money, Su Pinggan would not intervene. After completing all the formalities, the lawyer took the documents and left to handle the legal procedures. Jelan left with a lawyer. After Su Pinggan talked with the three again for a while, he left a sum of operating funds and left with a team of people. A 9-person team. This team will be responsible for escorting Su Pinggan to travel in Europe, which is considered to be an extra layer of security. Apocalypse Security Company will recruit a security instructor to train and improve the security personnel's escort capabilities. After returning to the hotel to rest for a day, Su Pinggan left France and went directly to Germany, heading straight to Dresden, the capital of Saxony, Germany. The hotel has been booked, the Orton Hotel, a 4-star hotel, and directly ordered a suite and 5 standard rooms. The captain of the escort team, Leighton, took people to check the hotel briefly, and then let Su Pinggan check in. Enjoying this kind of treatment made Su Pinggan very happy. This kind of treatment was only heard when he was in school before. However, watching those big guys on TV traveling with a group of people around them, he was also very envious. Now he also has this kind of treatment, and he feels very happy. After settling down, Su Pinggan took out the phone number given by Dr. Luck and started to contact Niren. The call was connected very quickly. After only 2 rings, the call was connected. Hello, that a man's voice came over. Hello, is this Professor Niren? I am Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan reported his name. Hello, Mr. Su, I am Niren. I have been waiting for your call. Niren's tone was a little excited, and he had been waiting for this call for many days. I just arrived in Dresden and settled in the Orton Hotel. Professor Niren, do you have time tomorrow? Su Pinggan asked with a smile. I have time tomorrow, Niren said directly. Well, come to see me in room 1505 of the Orton Hotel at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'll look forward to meeting the professor, Su Pinggan said directly. I'm looking forward to it too, Niren said directly. Chapter 77 Carbon is the future of the current Earth's development. After the call was hung up, Niren clenched his left fist and shouted yes with an excited expression on his face. This was a rare opportunity, and he had to grasp it. He put down the phone, opened the cabinet and took out a bottle of wine. He drank a few mouthfuls of wine directly. The next day, Su Pinggan got up, washed up, had breakfast in the hotel restaurant, and then went back to the room to drink tea. At about 9:40, Niren arrived. After the bodyguard asked Su Pinggan, he let Niren enter Su Pinggan's room. The two shook hands and sat down. Su Pinggan poured Niren a cup of tea. Professor, Dr. Lek is very respectful of the professor. What project is the professor currently researching? Su Pinggan asked, going straight to the point. Dr. Lek is my mentor. I can't achieve what I have today without the guidance of my mentor. Although we are not in the same place, we keep in touch and basically meet once a year. Currently I am studying new solar energy materials, but many people are not optimistic about my research, so I can only shamelessly ask my mentor to contact Mr. Su, Niren said seriously. Niren told the truth, first explaining his relationship with Dr. Luck to reassure Su Pinggan, and then mentioned his research project, which was not well received by others. The reason why he was so honest was that Dr. Luck had repeatedly told him that he was not afraid that his project would be unrealistic and not well received by others, but that he was afraid that he would not be honest enough. Su Pinggan hated deception the most. Dr. Luck was very smart. During his stay in Iceland, he had a good relationship with Kyle and Degusong, especially Degusong. With Dr. Luck's intention to make friends, the relationship progressed very well, and he also heard a lot about Su Pinggan from Degusong. Honesty was an aspect that Su Pinggan valued more. Professor, Dr. Luck's previous fish oil research was not well received by others, but I was optimistic about him. You saw what the result was. I guess the professor's research completely broke the existing mainstream thinking, so it was not accepted by others. It doesn't matter. Science itself is a matter of constantly breaking conclusions. Only by having the courage to break the old conclusions can we create epic-making products. This is my philosophy, Su Pinggan said seriously. After listening to Su Pinggan's words, Niren felt like a confidant. Su Pinggan was right. Scientific research is to break all kinds of rules and regulations and overturn all kinds of theories, so as to create epic-making products. This statement is really correct. If scientific research wants to make a breakthrough, people like Mr. Su are needed. Niren said this very seriously. Thank you, Professor. Can I see your research data? Su Pinggan went straight to the point. No matter what, it still depends on your research progress. Of course, Niren said with a smile. After speaking, he took out a thick stack of information from his briefcase. This was specially prepared. It took a long time to prepare for this day. Niren knew very well that as long as he could satisfy Su Pinggan, funding himself to set up a laboratory would not be a problem at all. The text of the information was in German. Su Pinggan could not understand it, but he pretended to look at it seriously. Whether the project was feasible was analyzed by Zingling. Now Zingling and Su Pinggan cooperated very well. When Su Pinggan was looking through the materials, he asked questions from time to time. Niren answered them seriously with a serious face. He knew that Su Pinggan asked key questions. He had originally looked down on Su Pinggan, but now he didn't. He looked through the materials for more than half an hour and asked more than a dozen questions. Niren gave very definite answers. Su Pinggan looked calm. Niren couldn't see anything. In fact, Su Pinggan was also very uncomfortable. The Star Spirit had already given the answer and rated it as A level. This rating is very high. In the words of the Star Spirit, although the materials are very naive, they have begun to take the right path. Carbon is the future of the current development of the Earth. Niren's research direction is a new type of carbon solar panel, an epic-making high-tech material. Without Su Pinggan's correct guidance, Niren would never succeed until he died of natural causes. Slowly closing the materials, Su Pinggan closed his eyes and thought for a while. Professor, I am optimistic about this project. I think we can talk about it in depth, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Niren also smiled after hearing this. The two began to negotiate. It didn't take long. Half an hour later, they reached an agreement. Su Pinggan funded Niren to conduct research. The results belonged to Su Pinggan, the authorship belonged to Niren, and Su Pinggan was responsible for the equipment and research funds. At the same time, Niren was equipped with 5 assistants. After the general framework was set, the two let go and talked very happily. The topic unconsciously extended to the solar energy industry. Niren began to talk about his views incessantly, and Su Pinggan kept nodding. Niren is capable and has a very good eloquence. He has his own views on the solar energy industry and the development of solar energy in various countries. He can be recruited. Besides, Niren is not very old. It is not a problem to recruit him and use him for more than 10 or 20 years. The two were very excited to talk. During this time, Su Pinggan boiled another pot of water, and the two drank a lot of cups. Niren, it's getting late. Let's go to dinner and talk slowly, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Okay boss, I think I can call you that now, Niren said with a smile, and Su Pinggan laughed and nodded. The two stood up, left the room and went straight to the hotel restaurant. They ordered their own food. Su Pinggan ordered a bottle of good red wine. The two began to drink and chat. Neither of them had an idea. Not far away, someone was recording the two with a mobile phone. Moreover, this person was a reporter. After dinner, the two separated. Nilan could examine his assistant, while Su Pinggan needed to find a reliable law firm. Both parties must sign a legal contract. There were other troubles that also needed lawyers to deal with. At night, Su Pinggan went to bed very late. He found a very good TV series and watched it all at once. It was already 3 o'clock in the morning when he went to bed. It was more than 10 o'clock and he didn't wake up. Finally, he was awakened by a ringing phone. He took the phone and looked at it. The area code should be Germany. Could it be Nilan? Su Pinggan answered the phone directly and said, Hello, boss, this is Nilan. We were photographed chatting in the restaurant yesterday. Today, the internet and newspapers published a picture of the two of us toasting each other, Nilan said directly. What? Su Pinggan's sleepiness disappeared. How could this be possible? He was very low-key. Could it be Niren? Did you arrange this? Su Pinggan's voice was a little cold. Chapter 78. Damn, there really is one. Niren had already sensed that Su Pinggan's tone had changed, and thought to himself that his guess was right. Su Pinggan didn't like being reported by the media, and it was the right time for him to make this call. Boss, I swear to God that this was not arranged by me. Boss, you can investigate at any time, Niren said directly. Let's not meet for the next 2 days. Just wait for my call. Don't worry. I will never go back on my words, Su Pinggan said, and he hung up the phone. Zingling, check it out and see what's going on, Su Pinggan said in his mind. Okay, Zingling agreed and fell silent. He opened the door and came out, looking at the bodyguard and said directly, Lei, ask the hotel to send some food up, and by the way, buy a few newspapers about me outside. Okay, boss, I'll arrange it immediately, Lei said, and Su Pinggan nodded and returned to the room. Niren was relieved after hearing what Su Pinggan said, put down the phone and rubbed his head. How could the newspaper know that he was going to meet the boss? Who leaked this news? He hadn't told anyone. Could it really be a coincidence? Niren pondered. After arriving at school in the morning, not long after, many professors inexplicably congratulated Nilan, which confused him. It was not until the President Will came to talk to Nilan that he found out what was going on. Well, to be honest, I am still confused. I have not told anyone about this news, including my family. Yesterday was the first time I met Sue. I am not sure at all and I will definitely not inform the media, Nilan said seriously. Nilan, I believe this. The school supports your cooperation with Sue. I know your relationship with Dr. Luck. I believe that Dr. Luck recommended you. In any case, this is the honor of our Dresden University. I have no other intention to find you today. If you need help from the school, just let us know. We will do our best to help you. In the future, if you make a breakthrough and get honors, it will also be the honor of our school, Will said with a smile. Thank you. Half of all my honors belong to the school. Without the support of the school, I can't get to this point. Nilan expressed his position directly, making Will and others nod and go on. Nilan, don't forget, he is recognized by the world as the luckiest person of this century. I hope his luck can bring you good luck. The school has decided to recommend Dr. Luck to compete for the Nobel Prize, Will said directly. Dr. Luck is retired from the University of Dresden. It is not a problem for the school to recommend him. No one can compete with Dr. Luck in the biological award. The honor of the school will add a heavyweight award. Thank you, Mr. Luck is absolutely worthy of this honor, Nilan said seriously, and Will nodded. Nilan, I hope you can also make a breakthrough. It will be a wonderful thing for both the master and the apprentice to win the Nobel Prize. This will become a good story in our school, Will said with a smile, and Nilan also laughed. After leaving the principal's office, Nilan thought for a while, and then called Su Pinggan. He was worried that Su Pinggan would think that the newspaper report was arranged by himself. This is not a good impression. No investor likes it. Investors definitely don't want the media to report on themselves, which will reveal some business layout. It didn't take long for Su Pinggan to get a reply from Zingling. According to the search data, it was concluded that the two of them were just met by reporters while having dinner, and it was not leaked by Nilan. Su Pinggan felt better, otherwise, he would not mind canceling the agreement with Nilan. What to do now? He can't run around after being in the newspaper. There may be many reporters lying in ambush outside. Su Pinggan just thought of this, and Zingling spoke, you guessed right. According to my scan, there are 14 reporters waiting for you to show up outside, including 5 in the lobby. Su Pinggan's face darkened. Damn, there really are. He scratched his head, looking helpless. According to my analysis of the reporters, there will be more people tomorrow, Zingling added. Does this mean that he has to be confined to the hotel? This is definitely not what he wants. The reason why he asked Nilan to come to the hotel to see him is that he doesn't want to be discovered by the media. As a result, he was discovered. This is a bit difficult to deal with. I was annoyed and stopped thinking about it. I picked up a newspaper and read it. The news published on it was more comprehensive. Niren's identity was also explored. He was a student of Dr. Luck. The newspaper analyzed that Su Pinggan's meeting with Niren was inseparable from Dr. Luck's recommendation. Dr. Luck left Poseidon Company due to health reasons. This was known. Many media with ulterior motives analyzed that Su Pinggan had a falling out with Dr. Luck, Dr. Luck cried at the press conference because he was reluctant to give up his project, not because he had a good relationship with Su Pinggan. Now the analysis in the newspaper has completely broken this rumor. If Dr. Luck had a falling out with Su Pinggan, he would definitely not recommend his students. Obviously, Dr. Luck had a good relationship with Su Pinggan, so he recommended his students to Su Pinggan. After reading it, he put down the newspaper and continued to read the news on the internet. The news on the internet spread very quickly, and the content of the report was similar to that in the newspaper, which was regarded as shattering the lies fabricated by some media with ulterior motives. After turning off the computer, Su Pinggan thought for a while. There was no good way. He stayed in the hotel for 2 days, hoping that these reporters would not have much patience. Now Su Pinggan could only comfort himself in this way. After a day of rest, Su Pinggan was browsing the web when the bodyguard came in. "Boss, there is a man named Alman who wants to see you. Here is his business card." He handed Su Pinggan a business card and said directly. Su Pinggan took it and looked at it. It turned out to be a city councilor of Dresden. He didn't know this person. Why did he come to see him? Let's meet him. He wanted to open a research institute in Dresden and could not do without the support of the local snake. Please ask him to come in, Su Pinggan said directly. The bodyguard nodded and went out. Soon, the bodyguard let a man in. He was in his 40s, tall, with small but bright eyes, a well-fitting suit, and shiny leather shoes. He had a faint aura on his body and a smile on his face, which made it easy for people to like him. "Boss, this is Mr. Alman," the bodyguard introduced. Su Pinggan shook hands with a man named Alman, and the two sat down together. "Mr. Alman, I wonder what you have to say today," Su Pinggan asked politely. "Mr. Su, I saw the news about you in the newspaper. The area where the university is located is under my responsibility, so I am more concerned about the cooperation between Mr. Su and the university. If there are any problems during this period, I can coordinate through it." Alman looked at Su Pinggan meaningfully and said with a smile. Chapter 79 Tentative Contact. Su Pinggan saw the look in Alman's eyes and understood what was going on. He waved his hand and the bodyguards all went out. "How about a drink?" Su Pinggan said with a smile. Alman also smiled. The signal he sent was understood by Su Pinggan. "It's my honor," Alman said with a smile. Su Pinggan nodded, stood up and went to the refrigerator, where there was a bottle of good wine he brought from France. He took it out directly, poured 2 glasses, brought it back, and handed a glass to Alman. The two raised their glasses and clinked them in the air, and each drank a sip. "Very good red wine," Alman said seriously. Alman drank a lot of red wine, and he could definitely tell whether it was good or bad. Although he was not as good as those wine tasters, he could definitely tell the good from the bad. The taste was not much different from the top red wines he drank. "This is what I bought in France. I wanted to buy more, but the other party didn't sell it to me. He only sold me 1 bottle and asked me for 50,000 euros, Su Pinggan said with a shrug. The flesh on Alman's face twitched. 50,000 euros, you are willing to spend that? I usually drink wine that costs more than 1,000 euros a bottle, and I can drink 1 bottle for 2 months. Rich people are really extravagant. Mr. Alman, I wonder if Dresden has any preferential policies for investment research institutes, Su Pinggan asked with a smile. Of course there are, and the strength is definitely much greater than other places. We in Dresden, Alman began to talk about the preferential policies of Dresden in great detail, and it was obvious that he had done some homework. The two asked and answered questions for almost 2 hours, and each drank 2 glasses of red wine. Mr. Alman, it's very pleasant to chat with you. I really want to invite Mr. Alman to have lunch together, but unfortunately I can't show up now. The reporters outside are watching me very closely, Su Pinggan said, making an apologetic expression. Su, as a public figure, this kind of thing is unavoidable. The less you show up, the more they watch you. If you show up and do what you should do, they will not be interested, said Alman meaningfully. Su Pinggan understood that having dinner with Alman would be good for Alman, so he smiled and said, Mr. Alman, the steak in the hotel restaurant is very good. Let's finish this bottle of good wine together, Su Pinggan stood up and said with a smile. Su, this is exactly what I want to say. Your bottle of red wine is definitely the best red wine I have ever tasted, Alman also stood up and said with a smile. The two looked at each other and smiled. It was obvious that both of them were very satisfied with this tentative conversation. The two went downstairs together, of course, followed by 4 bodyguards, and went straight to the restaurant. Su Pinggan and Alman appeared in the restaurant together, which immediately attracted the attention of reporters. They swarmed into the restaurant, and the hotel security was in a dilemma. If they stop the reporters, they will definitely offend them. Once they are criticized by the reporters in the media, the hotel may fire them. But if they don't stop them, Su Pinggan will complain and the hotel will also fire them. The reason is simple: the guests are harassed. The security captain walked towards Su Pinggan, but was stopped by the bodyguard before he reached Su Pinggan. He communicated with the bodyguard, and the bodyguard came to Su Pinggan to ask for instructions, and then let the security captain come over. The security captain was very humble. He had already seen Alman. As a local in the area under the jurisdiction of Councillor Alman, how could he not know Alman? Sir, there are many reporters and we can't stop them. I hope you gentlemen can talk and help us. Su, let's talk to the reporters, otherwise we can't eat quietly, Alman said directly, and Su Pinggan nodded. Please invite the reporters over and ask them to promise not to disturb us while we eat after interviewing us, and at the same time, not to come to the hotel to harass us again, Su Pinggan said directly. Thank you, Mr. Su, said the security captain, and then turned around to notify the reporters. Very efficient. After all, the reporters are highly educated and know the rules. Since the other party has taken over the interview, there is no need to do anything irrational. They all agreed to the security captain's request. Several tables next to them were emptied, and the reporters took chairs and sat down. Su Pinggan and Alman sat opposite the reporters. Hey, give the reporters a glass of juice. Put it on my account, Su Pinggan said loudly. Okay, sir, the waiter agreed and went to prepare it. Gentlemen, let's hurry up. I'm very hungry. You can ask questions in order from left to right. I won't hide anything I can say, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and the reporters also smiled kindly. Su Pinggan and Alman began to answer the reporters' questions. During this time, the juice was served and tasted very good. The questioning lasted for about 40 minutes and was considered over. Su Pinggan and Alman took a few photos together, and the two sides shook hands in a friendly manner and parted. Without the interruption of reporters, the two could have a quiet meal together and discuss some slightly more practical issues. However, they did not talk in depth. Today was just a tentative contact. The next time they met, it would be the time for a deep discussion. The next day, newspapers in Dresden and even German newspapers began to report on Su Pinggan and Alman. It was very likely that Su Pinggan's Schianki Group would invest in Dresden. It was also detailed that Councillor Alman introduced Dresden's investment policy to Su Pinggan in detail that day. Su Pinggan looked at these foreign councillors. They were really elites. They knew how to maximize their interests. They took the initiative to do things. This situation could not be experienced in China. Su Pinggan put down the newspaper and went out with his bodyguard. Now there were no reporters besieging him. The reporters had already obtained the information they wanted. There was no point in besieging Su Pinggan. After 2 days of wandering around Dresden, Su Pinggan felt that the trip was worthwhile. As a city second only to the capital of Berlin, it was indeed extraordinary. Moreover, there were too many research institutes here. Many companies had set up research institutes or laboratories here. Su Pinggan wanted to continue traveling and relaxing, but unfortunately, the lawyer he contacted came and had to interrupt his travel plan. He had to deal with business first. Bruce, 44 years old, founded his own law firm, Victory Sword Law Firm, with 2 friends. Although they encountered many difficulties, they worked together to overcome them. Now it has developed into a small law firm with 6 lawyers. Bruce was really surprised to receive Su Pinggan's call. Although the law firm has developed very well, it has not developed to the point where it can cooperate with large enterprises. Currently, it cooperates with some small and medium-sized enterprises. Chapter 80, Many Talented People. Bruce discussed with the 2 partners and felt that this was an opportunity for the law firm. If they really started to cooperate with the luckiest person of this century, it would definitely enhance the reputation of the law firm. This was a recognition that they had to win no matter what. With a result, Bruce started to act and went directly to the Orton Hotel. As a result, Su Pinggan did not come back and could only wait in the hotel lobby. As a celebrity, Su Pinggan received a notice from the hotel as soon as he came back. The bodyguards were arranged to invite Bruce to the room for a talk. More than 2 hours later, Bruce left the hotel with an excited look on his face. He did not even bother to eat and went directly back to the law firm to discuss with the two partners. He informed them that Su Pinggan planned to invest in the law firm and hire Bruce as an exclusive lawyer, €3 million, 30% of the shares of the law firm, and at the same time inject $300,000 into the law firm for daily expenses. Bruce's face was still full of excitement, and the two partners expressed their understanding. "Poke, Wendy, this is the situation. What are your opinions?" Bruce asked. "No problem, I agree." Poke expressed his opinion first. "Bruce, I think I can't refuse this price," Wendy also said with a smile. Bruce smiled directly, stood up and took out a bottle of red wine and 3 glasses from his cabinet beside him. The three of them began to taste the red wine. "Bruce, how much annual salary does he give you?" Wendy asked. Poker and Wendy both have their own exclusive clients, but Bruce doesn't. The reason is very simple. Bruce's asking price is not low, and he is determined to find a big company. Now Su Pinggan's Apocalypse Group obviously meets Bruce's conditions. $400,000, Bruce said directly. Bowen and Wendy looked at Bruce with envy. Their exclusive annual salary is only $200,000, which is exactly twice as much. "Congratulations, Bruce, your wish has come true, but I am very hurt. I must kill you tonight to make up for my pain," Wendy said directly. "Agree, I will be seriously unbalanced if I don't kill you," Poker also said. "Okay, you specify the place tonight, and I will pay the bill. However, we can't play too late. Mr. Su will come to sign the contract tomorrow, and we must take it seriously," Bruce said seriously. "That's not a problem. We can postpone the issue of killing you and wait until Mr. Su leaves. What we need is a passionate night," Poke said directly. "Yes, I agree with Poke," Wendy also said. Bruce shrugged helplessly and could only agree. A little after 10 o'clock the next day, Su Pinggan arrived at a sort of victory law firm with his bodyguards. Bruce, Wendy, and Poke greeted Su Pinggan at the door and gave him enough face. Once the contract is signed, Su Pinggan will be the second largest shareholder of the law firm, second only to Bruce. The first thing to sign is an exclusive contract, which is temporarily valid for only 1 year. It is a probation period for the two. After 1 year, if both parties feel satisfied, they will directly renew the contract. At that time, it will be a long-term contract. Xingling secretly reviewed the contract and found no problem at all. Su Pinggan and Bruce signed the contract directly. It was very pleasant. He directly gave Bruce a check for €400,000, which Bruce accepted. Then, as Su Pinggan's exclusive lawyer, Bruce drafted a contract for the acquisition of shares in the sort of victory law firm. Su Pinggan, Bruce, Poker, and Wendy all signed. After the signing, Su Pinggan readily paid a check for $3.3 million. How to divide it was up to Bruce and the other three. At noon, several people had lunch together. After lunch, Su Pinggan talked with Bruce for a while before returning to the hotel. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Niren rushed to the hotel and began to have an in-depth conversation with Su Pinggan. "Boss, there is a research institute called Decasim in Dresden, which is also engaged in solar energy research, and they have more than 40 patents. Although the patents are not very practical, they are very useful for my research," Niren said seriously. "How much is this institute worth, and how is their current business situation?" Su Pinggan asked. "This institute is located in the suburbs of Dresden, and owns a large area of land. The current operation is very bad, which is caused by the inability to effectively transform the patent results. As far as I know, in September last year, their last sponsor also stopped renewing the contract. The current value of the institute is more than €8 million. The land and buildings account for 50% of the factors, the contracts of other project leaders account for the other half, and the equipment value accounts for at most 2%. They haven't replaced the equipment for many years," Neelan said seriously. This price is not casually said, but a conclusion drawn after investigation. Su Pinggan thought about it. This price is not high and is within the acceptable range. However, when it comes to acquisition, it will be handed over to Bruce. With an annual salary of €400,000, he must show his strength. In addition to patents, is there anything else valuable in this institute? Su Pinggan continued to ask. Yes, Professor Boris from the institute, his research project is a new type of screen material, different from the currently known screen materials. His research direction is nanoscale material screen, which is very thin although the current progress is slow. Once a breakthrough is made in the future, it will definitely be an epic-making invention. There are too many places where this material can be used if possible. Barry, the daily manager of the institute, can also stay. He is very good at taking charge of the daily operations of the institute and coordinating project materials and applying for patents. As for other people, they are not very valuable, including Dr. Qasim. He's really old, even older than Professor Bilderk. He is in high spirits, but his body can no longer keep up with research, Niren said seriously. Su Pinggan was stunned for a moment. Damn, there are many talented people in Germany. No problem, I will arrange a lawyer to negotiate with him. I think you can prepare your list of experimental equipment, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and raised his teacup. Niren also raised his cup and clinked it with Su Pinggan. The two drank the tea in the small cups in one gulp. The next day, Bruce came to Su Pinggan's place, talked for about half an hour and then left, and began to acquire the Qasim Institute. Professor Bliss and Manager Barry were the ones who wanted to stay, including all the patents owned by the institute. Things went smoothly beyond Bruce and Su Pinggan's expectations. For €8 million, Qasim directly sold the institute. Bruce met with Professor Bliss and Barry and talked to them, conveying Su Pinggan's intentions, and both of them expressed their willingness to stay. Chapter 81, Status and position changed too fast, but thoughts did not keep up. While Bruce was busy, Su Pinggan was also idle. Nils, the financial manager of Poseidon, had brought two people to Dresden. The finance was independent, leaving two people behind. Kyle was arranging one person to be responsible for Poseidon's finance. Nils and two assistants went to Dresden to set up an accounting firm and temporarily take charge of the institute's finances. At the same time, they began to reserve financial personnel. In the future, Apocalypse Group will invest heavily in Europe, and all financial personnel will be dispatched by the accounting firm. Of course, Su Pinggan also placed a biological bomb in Nils' head, just in case. With this insurance that no one knows about, Su Pinggan will feel at ease to use Nils. Su Pinggan came to the institute and met with Professor Bliss and Barry respectively. He found that Boris was also a very capable person, and the evaluation given by the Star Spirit was not lower than that of Niren. As for Barry, Su Pinggan gave him a 3-month probation period. If he satisfied Su Pinggan within 3 months, his salary would be increased by 10%. Barry did not even consider it and agreed directly. It is not so easy to find a job now. Barry still has her loan on his body, so he will definitely not refuse Su Pinggan's arrangement. Both Nealon and Bliss submitted new research equipment procurement catalogs. Su Pinggan looked at them, modified some, and handed the catalogs directly to Barry. Barry, start purchasing, and deal with all the old equipment, Su Pinggan said directly. Boss, although the original equipment of the institute is outdated, it is still advanced equipment for some countries. We can sell it at a good price after refurbishing it, Barry said with a smile. Su Pinggan also smiled. Talented, worthy of being someone who has worked hard in the institute for more than 10 years. Very good, this matter will be handed over to you. Useless personnel can be cleaned up. Do you understand that it is a reasonable and legal cleanup? Su Pinggan looked at Barry and said. Boss, don't worry, I will work with lawyer Bruce to see if everything complies with the law, Barry said seriously, and Su Pinggan nodded and was very satisfied. The next day, Su Pinggan had a deep talk with Alman and sponsored Alman €500,000. In a week, with Alman's activities, Bruce came forward and took a large piece of land next to the institute. At the same time, Su Pinggan's acquisition of the institute was also approved by Germany. Foreign capital acquisitions of domestic enterprises, regardless of size, must be reviewed. Of course, the opinions of local governments are very important. Dresden must support Su Pinggan's acquisition. On this day, Su Pinggan held a press conference. Alman, Niren, Bliss, and Barry were all present. It was officially announced that the Apocalypse Group acquired a Qasim Institute, and the institute was officially renamed the Apocalypse Institute. The total investment was €57 million. Although it was not much, it was not a small amount. French Buck also sent 3 captains to recruit security personnel in Dresden to be responsible for the security of the institute. After finishing all this, Su Pinggan returned directly to the Celestial Empire. There was no way. Now time did not allow Su Pinggan to continue hanging around. There were not many days left before the traditional Chinese New Year. Su Pinggan had to go home. Carrying 2 large suitcases, Su Pinggan boarded the plane. It took 2 flights to get to Y province. He got on the car that came to pick him up and returned directly to his home. This time when he came back, the Apocalypse group was completely different from before. It was famous and it was difficult to keep a low profile. When Su Pinggan came back, his parents were definitely very enthusiastic. He took out the gifts he bought for his parents, which made his mother very happy. He cooked a lot of dishes that Su Pinggan liked, and Su Pinggan also ate a lot. After the meal, he chatted with his father in the living room. "Pinggan, you really became a big boss. I told you that the news said that you have hundreds of billions of assets. Is it true?" Su Hong asked. This question has been in his mind for a long time. "Dad, it must not be true. If I really have hundreds of billions, I will do nothing and take you around the world to play. The news said that it is the valuation, which is very watery. If I really sell my current company, it will be amazing if I can sell it for 10 billion. Su Pinggan shook his head and said. The valuation is 10 billion euros, of which the patent of superfish oil accounts for 90%, the Poseidon brand accounts for 8%, and the remaining 2% is the real value of the company. Su Pinggan is not confused and knows his position very well. Your uncle called and said that you should call him directly when you come back. He has something to talk to you about, Su Hong said directly. Su Pinggan nodded and could guess what his uncle Lu Haodang wanted to talk to him about. I'll call now, Su Pinggan said directly, and Su Hong nodded. He came back today, so he called today. This is an attitude and a respect for his uncle. He took out his mobile phone and started dialing. Soon the call was connected. He talked to Lu Haodang for a while and then hung up. Uncle will come tomorrow morning, Su Pinggan said directly. I'll ask your mother to cook more dishes, and we'll have lunch at home, Su Hong said directly. They're all family members. If they have everything at home, they shouldn't go out to eat. Dad, it's hard for me to analyze. I guess we'll have dinner with the boss tomorrow, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Su Hong was stunned for a moment and looked at Su Pinggan in confusion. Boss, what boss? The head of the city, Su Pinggan explained, and Su Hong finally understood what he meant. Do they need to go through your uncle to find you? Su Hong asked. In Su Hong's impression, it is a big deal if the government calls you. You have to report immediately after receiving the notice, and you need to find someone to lobby for you. This is obviously abnormal. Dad, now your son is so rich that he is praised by the outside world, and he also enjoys the tax-free policy of the city. It is normal to attract investment, Su Pinggan explained. Su Hong completely understood what was going on. Think about it, it is true. It is said on TV that when a big boss goes to that place to invest, there are police cars in front of him, accompanied by big leaders in the city, and a large group of people in front and behind him. His son is also a big boss, and the city will definitely come to attract investment. You should ask your uncle for advice tomorrow, Su Hong said directly. Su Pinggan smiled and nodded, without objecting to his father's words. His father's thoughts are definitely different from his own. Now it is different from before. The Su family is also different from the Su family before. The status and position have changed too quickly, but the thinking has not kept up. Take it slowly. Seeing Su Pinggan's performance, Su Hong knew that he had said the wrong thing. Although Su Pinggan did not object to what he said, he also showed a little expression that his thinking was out of date and the child had his own ideas. He should not interfere, so as not to ruin the child's plan. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82. Many people covered their chests. After the news of Su Pinggan came out, the leaders of J City were also shocked. No one thought that they thought it was a small fish that needed to be cultivated slowly, but they didn't know that this fish turned into a dragon. A company worth tens of billions of euros, Su Pinggan hid it too deeply, and was forced to hold a press conference. He was also questioned by his superiors, but he didn't know anything and was criticized. You don't even know the strength of the companies in your city. What are you doing all day? Such a large company is under your nose, but you don't know how to attract investment, and you go to the province to attract investment and ask for policies all day. It's a typical case of begging with a golden bowl. All of them were scolded by their superiors, and the city leaders can be said to have collective complaints. The sales of Poseidon superfish oil are very clear. This is because the price has not come down. The price of 3,000 yuan per bottle is not affordable for ordinary people. Once the price drops a little, sales will definitely increase. The production line of Iceland Poseidon alone cannot meet the market needs. It is certain that a branch factory will be built. No matter what, Supingen must keep this factory in the city. If this cannot be done, the city leadership will be laughed at by their peers, and it will be a great shame. The city leaders began to hold a meeting to study this matter. All of them couldn't figure out where Supingen got the funds. It was impossible for a fresh college graduate to have such funds. Supingen's family situation was also understood. An ordinary family did not have the financial strength to acquire a company abroad. Although Supingen's small online store made some money, it could not provide funds to acquire foreign companies. Where did Supingen's funds come from? Would there be any problems? They immediately asked their superiors to cooperate in the investigation. If the government wants to investigate you, it will definitely find out your problems. Supingen has been normal since graduation. The only change is that he left China and started to appear in Hong Kong. The funds are from Hong Kong. There are many problems with the flow of funds in Hong Kong. Will Supingen have such problems? Continue to investigate in depth. As a result, the Jockey Club's winnings of more than 500 million were turned out. Seeing this result, many people were envious and jealous. Invest 10 yuan and get more than 500 million. Many people covered their chests. This kid's luck was too good. The Mark 6 lottery tickets that Supingen bought were also found out. Of course, the fact that he didn't win the lottery was not important. Not only that, Supingen's use of Citibank's channel to short Zuanlin technology in Hong Kong was also found out. This was normal. After all, many people were doing this at the time. But seeing Supingen's gains, many people couldn't stand it again. Damn, are all college graduates so awesome now? With a little money, they dare to take such a big risk to short the stock market. What if Zuanlin technology doesn't fall? That would be a loss of tens of millions. The investigation stopped here. The investigation of foreign affairs required a higher level unit to handle it. Judging from the information, it was completely unnecessary. The legality of Supingen's source of funds had been investigated. He was a representative of not lacking money. There was no need to waste manpower and material resources to investigate Supingen's overseas affairs. After the provincial leaders felt uncomfortable, the information was transmitted back to J-City. After reading it, the bigwigs in J-City also covered their chests. Supingen's source of funds was legal, especially Supingen's luck, which made you jealous and want to vomit blood. If this kid invests less than 500 million in the city, don't even think about leaving J-City to invest in other places. I won't agree to anything, Mayor Chen Qingshan said unhappily, and the people present collectively nodded in agreement. This matter must be kept confidential and cannot be leaked. This is something that the superiors have repeatedly explained. If it is really leaked, I'm afraid this kid will really not invest in this city, senior official Lu Qingfang said, and everyone nodded. Everyone understands that no one likes to be investigated, especially young people nowadays, who have a serious rebellious mentality. Supingen has so much money that he has been hiding it so tightly, and he must be worried about being investigated. Next, Supingen's uncle Lu Haodong has something to do. He was called over by several bigwigs in turn and began to assign tasks. In short, Supingen must be allowed to invest. Otherwise, don't even think about retiring, and Lu Haodong will be in trouble. When the news about Supingen was fermenting in China, Lu Haodong was already confused. Is there anything wrong? How could Supingen, who owns a company worth 10 billion euros, be so unrealistic? Where would he get so much money to acquire a foreign company? More than 10 million euros is more than 100 million RMB. At that time, Supingen had not yet started selling super fish oil. Would there be any problem with the source of the money? Lu Haodong was also very worried about this. This was not a trivial matter. Money laundering was a felony. It was not until he was called by the big boss in the city to talk and said that Supingen's source of funds was legal that Lu Haodong was relieved. However, he had to let Supingen invest later, which made Lu Haodong a little uncomfortable. From the cement factory incident, it can be seen that Supingen hates being arranged and has a clear market plan for the development of his own business. But if he does not convince Supingen to invest, it will not be so easy to retire smoothly, and he is also very worried at home. After thinking about it, I started to work on Su Hong. If you, Supingen, don't invest, I will go to battle with your father to see if you invest or not. Lu Haodeng was forced to no choice. Without this premise, Su Hong would not talk to Su Pinggan like that. After a night, Lu Haodeng arrived at Su's house at 10 o'clock the next morning. The reason why he came so late was that he knew that Su Pinggan had just come back yesterday and must be tired. If he came later, Su Pinggan would be able to recover. After brewing a pot of tea, Su Pinggan and Lu Haodeng chatted on the balcony on the second floor. There were many flowers and a small fish pond with 9-tailed koi swimming in it, in red and golden colors. You launched a big satellite this time, and the higher-ups gave me a death mission. If you don't invest, I can't retire smoothly. Lu Haodeng put down the teacup and looked at Su Pinggan and said, Uncle, you don't need to worry about this. Investing in the city is certain. I have this plan. Su Pinggan said with a smile, poured water into the purple clay pot, and then filled Lu Haodeng's cup with tea. Oh, what is the investment? Is it your super fish oil branch? Lu Haodeng asked. Super fish oil definitely needs to build a branch. Iceland has already made a corresponding plan. Poseidon will definitely go international. China, the United States, and Europe will all build factories. As for whether to build a new one or directly acquire one, it depends on Kyle, the general manager of Poseidon. Although I am the boss of Poseidon, Poseidon is operated under Kyle's responsibility. It is an independent branch. It is not good for me to interfere too much, Su Pinggan said seriously. Chapter 83. This scheming is not young at all. Lu Haodeng nodded, expressing his understanding. As the headquarters, the group company cannot directly intervene in the management of its subordinate companies. This will cause management chaos and weaken the authority of the general manager of the subordinate company, which is not conducive to the management of the company. In this case, you'd better communicate with him and build a new factory in China. The equipment of domestic healthcare products companies cannot be compared with foreign ones. As for the others, you are now in the tax-free stage. If there is no return, the big guys in the city will not let me go, Lu Haodeng said with a smile. Don't worry, Uncle, I won't make it difficult for you. It's too late now. After the new year, Uncle will arrange it. I will have a serious talk with the big guys. As long as the conditions are right, J-City is the first choice. Su Pinggan made a direct promise, and Lu Haodeng was relieved. The new factory may not recruit many people, Su Pinggan added. Lu Haodeng was stunned for a moment and didn't understand what Su Pinggan meant. Uncle, you just need to know about this matter, don't report it to the higher-ups. The 4 production lines of the company in Iceland only have more than 100 people. Even if we build a new factory here, it is estimated that only 100 people will be needed. All automated production, the latest industrial equipment, Su Pinggan explained. So advanced, Lu Haodeng asked in surprise, and Su Pinggan nodded. To be honest, if the company in Iceland does not need to be responsible for the goods from China and the United States, it can easily meet the needs of the whole of Europe. The workers do not touch the equipment during the production process, and they are all controlled by electronic equipment in a specific room. Raw materials are put in, and the finished products are packed in boxes at the end. You only need to drive a forklift to organize the items. It's really very advanced, Su Pinggan said with emotion. Lu Haodeng was very surprised. He didn't expect that foreign equipment was so advanced. He thought seriously, Pinggan, I won't talk about this, but you must talk about this when you talk to the higher-ups after the new year. Do you understand? Lu Haodeng said meaningfully. I understand. I will let them understand that factory production is completely different now than before, Su Pinggan said directly, and Lu Haodeng nodded. Don't come after the new year. I received a call when I came here today. The superiors want to talk to you alone. A car will come to lead the way soon, so I won't go, Lu Haodeng said with a smile, and Su Pinggan also smiled. He really didn't relax for a moment. Where is it, the city government? Su Pinggan asked. No, the place has been arranged. I will know after I call back. Your investment is related to the city's planning for next year. It's better to confirm it one day earlier so that you can feel at ease earlier, Lu Haodeng said directly, and Su Pinggan nodded to show his understanding. The two talked for a while, and Lu Haodeng started to make a phone call directly. It didn't take long before he hung up the phone. Get ready, the mayor's secretary will drive over to lead the way soon, Lu Haodeng said directly. You are really busy all the time, Su Pinggan said with emotion. Pinggan, you are no longer an ordinary person at this moment. You must understand this. You must learn to adapt to your current identity, Lu Xiaodang said meaningfully, looking at Su Pinggan. I understand, Su Pinggan said very calmly. The two drank 2 cups of tea and went downstairs. Su Pinggan notified the bodyguards in charge of the house, and someone immediately went to prepare the car. Su Pinggan went back to the room to take a shower and change clothes. Taking a shower is a habit, but he got up late today and didn't have time. When Su Pinggan finished taking a shower, changed clothes and went downstairs, the car that came to lead the way had arrived. Su Pinggan said hello to his family and left directly. Su Hong watched Su Pinggan leave and sighed deeply. Pinggan is so competitive, what do you have to sigh about? Lu Xiaodang said with a smile. You don't know him yet. Pinggan has been very opinionated since he was a child. He is very competitive in his bones. I'm really worried that he doesn't know how to take a step back and the world will be broader. Su Hong turned his head and said. Don't worry, Pinggan can create such a big business. He will definitely not do anything reckless. We are old, let the young people do their own things, Lu Xiaodang said as he looked at the car that had disappeared in the distance. 3 cars drove all the way to a restaurant in the suburbs, and then stopped. Su Pinggan got out of the car. Mr. Su, please come this way, Hao Ziwen said to Su Pinggan with a smile on his face. Excuse me, Secretary Hao, Su Pinggan also said with a smile. The two walked in together, Hao Ziwen in front and Su Pinggan behind, followed by 2 bodyguards. They went straight into a room, where 2 people were sitting. They stood up when they saw Su Pinggan coming. Mr. Su, this is our city's senior official Lu Qingfeng, this is our mayor Chen Qingshan, Hao Ziwen introduced the 3 people. It's my honor to meet the parents of my hometown today, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and shook hands with Lu Qingfeng and Chen Qingshan respectively. Sit down, let's sit down and talk, Lu Qingfeng said with a smile, and the 3 sat down directly. Xiao Hao, let them serve the dishes, Chen Qingshan said. Hao Ziwen poured tea for the 3 people and left to make arrangements. Mr. Su, if it weren't for the media this time, I really didn't know that our small 4th-tier city would hide a company with a market value of tens of billions. You really gave us a big surprise, Chen Qingshan said with a smile. It's fine if the mayor and the senior officials call me Pinggan. I feel friendly. If you two don't blame me, I will be satisfied. To be honest, I didn't expect to get to this point. No matter what, I have to thank you two for protecting me. I'll use tea instead of wine. Thank you senior officials and the mayor, Su Pinggan said and picked up the teacup. Chen Qingshan and Lu Qingfeng looked at each other, smiled, and also raised their teacups to clink with Su Pinggan. The 3 of them took a sip. The conversation did not get to the point at all, but chatted. It didn't take long before the dishes came up, and there were 2 bottles of wine. It was Su Pinggan's favorite Jiananshan. It can be seen that these 2 really know Su Pinggan very well. Pinggan, you are also a celebrity now. Do you have any plans to invest in your hometown? After the 3 of them drank a glass of wine, Chen Qingshan asked with a smile. This is true. I originally planned to trouble the mayor after the new year. But I didn't expect to meet the mayor so soon, Su Pinggan said with a smile. Oh, tell me, you can rest assured that the city will definitely support it strongly, Lu Qingfeng said with a smile. Su Pinggan actually had an investment plan, which saved a lot of effort. Mayor, superfish oil has now started to be sold all over the world. Iceland's production capacity alone cannot meet the market demand. I have discussed this issue with General Manager Poseidon. Iceland has no problem meeting the European demand. China and the United States must establish branches. As for whether to acquire a factory or build a new one, it depends on General Manager Kyle of Poseidon. I can't directly interfere with his management, which will cause chaos, but I also said that I hope this project will be settled in my hometown, Su Pinggan said directly. Lu Qingfeng and Chen Qingshan looked at each other. It was similar to what they analyzed, but now Su Pinggan was a little bit reluctant to see the rabbit. If the project wants to settle in the city, it depends on the strength of the city's policies. If the policy is not strong enough, then you can't blame me for building the factory in other areas. This is Su Pinggan's underlying meaning. Both of them understood this. Although Su Pinggan is young, this scheming is not young at all. Chapter 84 Who dares to treat Shianki Group as an ordinary company? That's right. After the experience abroad, I can't look at Su Pinggan with ordinary eyes. Besides, it's easy to deal with if you put forward conditions. What I'm afraid of is that if you don't put forward conditions, everything can be negotiated. The two of them have made a great determination to keep Su Pinggan's superfish oil project in this city. By the way, senior officials, Mayor, if the superfish oil company is really established in my hometown, it may not need many people, Su Pinggan said to the two of them, saying ugly things in advance to avoid you saying that I calculated you. Chen Qingshan just frowned. How could it be possible that there is no need to talk about more people? A large factory, you must need 1,000 people to run it, but it seems that Su Pinggan's meaning does not seem to be joking. Is there any difference here? Pinggan, we can talk about anything today, and you will see the sincerity of the city, Chen Qingshan said seriously. Mayor, the factory over in Iceland has 4 production lines, and only needs a little over 100 people to run it. It uses the latest automated equipment. From raw material input to product packaging and boxing, no human contact is required throughout the process. It only takes a few people to operate the electronic equipment. This is the world's latest production line, which is different from the traditional production line in China, Su Pinggan explained. Chen Qingshan and Lu Qingfang looked a little dumbfounded. Are foreign factories so advanced? This completely overturned their views. They had also visited advanced enterprises in first-tier cities, but they were not as advanced as Su Pinggan said. Pinggan, since you plan to take root in your hometown, how do you plan your business? Lu Qingfang asked, and at the same time, he personally filled the cups of the 3 people and chatted while drinking. At present, it is tentatively decided to set the headquarters of Shianki Group in my hometown. All branches established in the future will be independently operated. There are only 3 departments directly managed by the headquarters, the legal department, the financial department, and the scientific research department. This time I went out, I have acquired a research institute in Dresden, Germany. In the future, the headquarters must also have a large research institute to conduct research on various projects. In fact, I have already started this work. Now there is already a laboratory in the Shianki Group Park, and other projects will be added in the future. This will be the research and development headquarters of the Shianki Group. As for the commercial conversion of the project, it will be carried out according to actual needs. After all, some projects require sea and air transportation, which we cannot change. Su Pinggan looked at the two and said truthfully. Lu Qingfang and Chen Qingshan looked at each other and smiled bitterly. The sadness of a small city is that the geographical location determines your value. This is a flaw that cannot be compensated. This is also the fundamental reason why it is difficult for the mainland to produce large enterprises. However, the place I need is not small, and this still requires a lot of help from the mayor and senior officials, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and the two were stunned for a moment. How big a place do you need when there are not many people here? Chen Qingshan asked. Mayor. The factory workers don't need many people, but my R&D department needs a large number of people. Scientific research is different from before, and it requires the cooperation of multiple departments to achieve breakthroughs. A large number of people are needed to carry out various experiments. To be honest, my current Shianki Park is not enough. I can guarantee that the future personnel of the institute will be much more than those in the factory, Su Pinggan said seriously. What research do you plan to conduct? Lu Qingfang asked with a move in his heart. In many aspects, biomedicine, advanced materials, clean energy, network technology, etc., this needs to be increased step by step. By then, you will see that the number of people in my Shianki Institute has increased very quickly, so a small place is simply not enough. Su Pinggan said this very seriously. Let's put it this way. The new year is coming in 2 days. Let's find a time after the new year to talk about it in detail. You can rest assured, Pinggan. The mayor and I will fully support you, Lu Qingfang said with a smile. Su Pinggan also smiled and raised his glass to clink with Lu Qingfang. The two drank it in one gulp and laughed together. The 3 of them finished 2 bottles of Jian Anshan and finally separated amicably. They each took a car back. Su Pinggan went directly home, while Lu Qingfang and Chen Qingshan went to Lu Qingfang's office together. As soldiers who have been tested by alcohol, 2 bottles of wine are nothing to worry about. There is not much impact at all. The two washed their faces, made a cup of strong tea respectively, and sat down to discuss Su Pinggan's affairs. This kid looks young, but I feel like I'm talking to the CEOs of those big companies, Chen Qingshan said with a frown. This is normal. It should be said that this guy is more difficult to deal with than the CEOs of large domestic companies. Think about it. Those companies are only noisy in China. We all know what they are like abroad. Look at Su Pinggan. Although Iceland does not belong to the European Union, it is not so easy for us to acquire companies there, and the German Research Institute, how can it be so easy to acquire? These places did not make things difficult for Supingen, which is already very telling. We must treat him in a higher position and give him strong policies. Otherwise, this guy will definitely adjust the project to other places. Now if it is reported that Supingen plans to move the company out of J City, you can see, I can guarantee that the top 2 leaders of those first-tier cities will dare to come to invite him personally, Lu Qingfang said with a serious face. No way, although Poseidon Company is worth 10 billion euros, Supingen can't move Poseidon Company back to China. How could it attract such attention? Chen Qingshan said directly. Old Chen, you underestimate the influence of Poseidon Company. As a drug that completely suppresses heart disease, although it is approved as a dietary supplement, which hospital can do without this drug, even if your heart disease is relieved, you can't do without it. You need to take 1 pill every 2 days to maintain it. There are so many people in the world and how much profit there will be. You have to understand that Poseidon's production line is different from those in China. Its efficiency is several times higher than theirs. Moreover, Poseidon produces it in cash, which is a terrifying cash flow. With such a product in hand, his Apocalypse Group has the strength to dare to engage in business war with any international company. Who dares to treat Apocalypse Group as an ordinary company? Why did those European countries give the green light to his acquisition? It's because these people know that Poseidon in the future will be a large company with absolutely strong strength. Besides, no country can do without superfish oil. This is Poseidon's international status. He will be the global leader in the field of dietary supplements in the future. This kid is so lucky that it makes people want to vomit blood, Lu Qingfang said with emotion. Chapter 85 All Under the Sea God. Old Lu, you are so insightful, Chen Qingshan said with emotion. Same, I just figured it out too. Don't forget, there are only 7 hospitals in China selling this super fish oil now. His online store sells it at a higher price than the hospital. Once the price drops, sales will definitely explode. No need for anything else, just the profits of the Cheyenne Shale branch are enough for him to toss around. He has tasted the dividends brought by high technology and wants to increase research and development. Once there is a breakthrough, it will definitely bring him greater profits. This kid has a big appetite, Lu Qingfang said seriously. This is a good thing. There are not many companies in China that dare to invest so much in research and development. We can build a high-tech city around the Shianqi Research Institute. Chen Qingshan looked at Lu Qingfang and said meaningfully. What do you mean? Lu Qingfang looked at Chen Qingshan. Chen Qingshan moved forward a little and told his ideas one by one. I just thought of this, it's not mature yet. Old Lu, please help me to think about it, Chen Qingshan said seriously. Lu Qingfang thought for a while, shook his head, and was not very optimistic about Chen Qingshan's plan. Old Chen, let's make preparations for both situations. It's Supingen who said all this. It's still unclear whether it can be realized. Besides, our superiors will not give a small city like ours so many resources. We are more than 100 kilometers away from the provincial capital and more than 100 kilometers away from Luo City. Both places have airports. Let's not talk about the provincial capital, let's talk about Luo City. It's not comparable to us. Luo City is an old industrial city with a much higher status than us. If Supingen really has any big investment, I guess the province will also coordinate to let the project settle in the provincial capital or Luo City, or even in other big cities. Our city has large enterprises with tens of thousands of workers. As a result, it's half debt and the production cost is high. Aren't they also cutting staff and venues and planning to relocate now? Therefore, we must build our tourism industry according to our original plan. As for the rest, we will strive for it if we can, but we will have to give up if we can't. The road toll alone forces those companies to develop in suitable cities, Lu Qingfang said with emotion. After listening to Lu Qingfang's analysis, Chen Qingshan nodded. I was wrong, a little bit obsessed, just according to the situation at any time. We can't stop the pace of building the tourism industry, Chen Qingshan said seriously, and Lu Qingfang nodded. Supingen didn't think too much, and went to bed when he returned home. There was no need to worry about the company. They had communicated through the internet, and everything went according to plan. Bonuses were given when they should be given, benefits were given when they should be given, and holidays were given when they should be given. Everything was in order. The next day, Supingen took the purchased items and started to go around. He visited many acquaintances, exchanged a few words and gave gifts, and finally visited everyone before the new year. After the clock struck midnight, Su Pingyan immediately started to send group text messages to wish everyone a happy new year. He started to visit relatives on the second day of the new year and drove around everywhere. It was not until the sixth day of the new year that he felt at ease. Then he started to get together with a few childhood friends, eat, drink, and go to KTV, and played until the ninth day of the new year when he went to work. Su Pingyan had a video call with Kyle and discussed a lot of things. Kyle's opinion was very clear. The branch in Cheyenne hoped that Su Pingyan could take full responsibility and arrange the staff. The head of the branch could come to Iceland to meet Kyle. Now Kyle is mainly busy with the adjustment of the Iceland factory and the inspection of companies in Europe and the United States. In the future, Poseidon headquarters will mainly produce the main raw materials. After the main raw materials are transported to the branch will purchase other auxiliary materials for secondary processing to produce finished products, which can greatly save costs. On the first day of work after the new year, the company's senior executives were not missing. Su Pingyan held a high-level meeting and announced the company's internal adjustments. In the future, the group's subsidiaries will be operated independently, and Cheyenne Foreign Trade Import and Export Company will be directly under the jurisdiction of Poseidon. The Operation Department, Brand Department, Logistics Department, E-commerce Department, and Media Department are all under the Poseidon. How to operate is the responsibility of Poseidon headquarters. This change shocked many people, but they all understood and accepted it. Poseidon is now famous. In addition, Su Pingyan said that Poseidon will officially build a factory in Cheyenne and operate independently, and everyone's salary will not be reduced. Han Jiaping was appointed as the general manager of the Poseidon Cheyenne branch. Liu Changsong and Ma Xinghu were appointed as deputy general managers of the Poseidon Cheyenne branch, which completely kicked off the integration. At the same time, 200 million yuan was allocated to the Cheyenne investment department. Jizu Ai was very satisfied. With 200 million yuan, he would definitely have higher profits and bigger bonuses. Su Pingyan had already said that in the future, bonuses would be issued according to your net profit. The amount of bonus depends on your own ability. Su Pingyan contacted the mayor Chen Qingshan and went to the municipal government in person. The two discussed for a whole morning and determined the general framework. When he returned to the company, he found Wu Sike. After the two discussed, Wu Sike came forward to negotiate with the Municipal Investment Promotion Bureau on behalf of the Cheyenne Group. A week later, the two parties signed a contract. Su Pingyan purchased 2 plots of land, one of 60 mu and one of 120 mu, not far apart. They were all in the eastern suburbs and not far from the Cheyenne Group headquarters. The land price is really low. It can be said that it is half sold and half given. In order to keep the Poseidon branch project in the city, the J-City government has shown great sincerity. Of course, this is also inseparable from Wu Sike's ability. A few days later, the Poseidon official website was updated, officially announcing that the factory will be settled in J-City and has signed a contract with the J-City government. This news surprised many people, but it is acceptable. After all, the boss of Poseidon is from J-City in the Celestial Empire, and it is acceptable for the Celestial Empire to move faster. Han Jiaping, as the general manager of the Poseidon Celestial Empire branch, attended the press conference for the groundbreaking of the factory with the mayor Chen Qingshan, announcing the official launch of the Poseidon Celestial Empire branch with a total investment of 23 million euros. Han Jiaping stated in an interview that after the factory is completed and put into operation, the price of super fish oil will be adjusted to allow more people to get rid of the torture of illness. The two took shovels and began to sprinkle oil on the stone tablet, representing the official start of construction of the factory area. Han Jiaping, Liu Changsong, and Ma Xinghu went to Iceland to meet Kyle. Kyle would be their direct superior from now on. The business policy must be in line with Poseidon's strategic plan, and Su Pingyan would not interfere. On this day, Su Pingyan was drinking tea in his office. Jin Wenwang informed him that Miao Yuang had come and wanted to see President Su. Su Pingyan nodded, and Jin Wenwen took Miao Yuang into Su Pingyan's office. Chapter 86 I ask you, who is responsible for the company's losses? Miao, come and have some tea. Su Pingyan smiled and asked Miao Yuang to sit down, and poured Miao Yuang a small cup of tea. Mr. Su is so leisurely, Miao Yuang said with a smile, and Su Pingyan also smiled. Indeed, Su Pinggan has had a very good life recently. After the Cheyenne Shale branch of Poseidon Company signed a contract with a municipal government and started construction, Cheyenne Group was included in the list of key enterprises of the municipal government. No municipal unit was allowed to harass Cheyenne Group. If there was any problem, they had to report it to the municipal government first. Only after the municipal government approved it could they deal with Cheyenne Group, which made Su Pinggan feel much more relaxed. "What good news do you have today?" Su Pinggan said with a smile. Mr. Su, after 26 ocean experiments, we plan to conduct a large-scale ship spraying experiment. This requires a batch of finished products to be made first, and our laboratory does not have this ability, Miao Yuan said directly. With only the equipment in the laboratory, we can only make dozens or hundreds of barrels at most. More is not enough. It is time-consuming and labor-intensive, and the cost is very high. A large cargo ship requires at least hundreds of barrels of paint, which requires large-scale production. Su Pinggan thought for a while and asked, "How is the experimental data reserve?" "At present, we have carried out more than 30,000 experimental data reserves. The report to purchase new database equipment before the new year is to increase the data reserve," Miao Yuan said directly. Su Pinggan nodded. Miao Yuan's progress is still very fast. You can conduct other experiments for the time being, and strive to increase the experimental data to more than 50,000 items. "I will arrange the factory construction," Su Pinggan said directly. "The construction of the factory area and the purchase of equipment will take about 3 months, which is completely in time." "No problem, Mr. Su. There is another thing. When I went to Lig to do experiments, I met a Russian friend who I met at the Netherlands Institute. He was very interested in my research and suggested that he could help us contact a Russian warship to conduct experiments. If the effect is good, I hope to become the agent of the product in Russia," Miao Yuan said directly. "Did you give him a sample?" Su Pinggan asked immediately. "No, it was a coincidence that we met at sea. We chatted for a few words and then separated. He is not engaged in anti-corrosion research. His research direction is marine life. The industry is different," Miao Yuan explained. "Miao Yuan, you are really only suitable for research," Su Pinggan said with emotion, and Miao Yuan was very puzzled. "You don't really realize the value of the project you are working on now. Seawater is very corrosive, including some parasites and seaweed plants that are attached to the bottom of the ship. Therefore, the paint on the bottom of the ship is highly toxic and needs regular maintenance. The project we are working on now can get rid of these parasites and seaweed, so that they will no longer cling to the bottom of the ship and cause corrosion. In other words, it is completely fine to paint the bottom of your ship once every 10 years. Do you know how much value is contained in this? Not to mention other things. How many orders will there be from the global navy? How many ships will there be from global shipping companies? And how many fishing boats will go out to sea? Have you ever calculated how much money the navies and ship owners of various countries can save by using our products? Also, every time the paint is scraped and repainted, it will more or less cause certain damage to the hull. Using our paint can at least allow the Navy ships to operate for 5 to 10 more years. Although we have applied for more than 130 patents, more than half of them have not yet been approved. There is a lot of uncertainty here. Smart people can see how much benefit is contained in it. When my country's reform and opening up just started, many technologies were invented by my country, but they were patented by foreigners, and we have to pay them patent fees. The people who do these things are not technical personnel, but it does not affect their ability to see the economic value contained in it. If the experiment in Russia achieves good results and the other party registers a patent, I ask you, who will be responsible for the company's losses? Su Pinggan said very impolitely. Miao Yuan was shocked and sweat appeared on his face. What Su Pinggan said was not impossible. When he was interning in a laboratory in the Netherlands, a similar case occurred. A Dutch invention was patented in advance by a Belgian company during the experiment. In the end, the lawsuit lasted for 3 years, and it was settled out of court. It cost millions of euros to get the patent back. The results of my own research still need to be bought from others. I have to say how aggrieved it is. Thank you, Mr. Su, for reminding me. I almost ruined the company's big business. Miao Yuan was ashamed and realized the mistake of his actions. It's good that you understand. All patents are not approved, and no relevant experiments will be conducted on any company. At most, a few ships will be chartered for experiments. No matter how good your friends are, you can't tell them about the research. You should not only require yourself in this way, but also make the same requirements for your assistants. This is the principle, Su Pinggan added. Please rest assured, Mr. Su, I will execute it immediately. I will start to execute it when I go back. Miao Yuan can now distinguish the interests. After drinking a pot of tea with Su Pinggan, Miao Yuan left. Su Pinggan also started to work. After pressing a button, Jin Wenwen came in. Mr. Su, you are looking for me, Jin Wenwen said. Please contact the headhunting company. I need an international talent to serve as the general manager of the paint company. The work location is in J City, Xianchao, Su Pinggan said directly. Okay, I will handle it immediately, Jin Wenwen said and went out to handle it immediately. Su Pinggan looked at the computer. Xingling had already started to list the purchase list of paint factory equipment. There were a lot of them, and there were also many environmental protection equipment. Paint factory waste is a very powerful pollutant. If you want to perfectly recycle this kind of items, you need a lot of processes. The air pollution from the paint factory is also very terrible. The reason why we took a piece of land of more than 100 acres was to increase the environmental protection process, and to centralize the sewage discharged by the Poseidon branch and the paint factory to the environmental protection factory for unified treatment. Otherwise, there is no need to take such a large piece of land. Either don't do it, or if you do it, you must be the best in the world. This is Su Pinggan's concept. Looking at the final total amount, damn, it's almost 1 billion RMB when converted into RMB, and this is just for equipment. Su Pinggan touched his head. To do big business, you really can't do it without money. Ordinary paint factories can't invest so much. It's good to have more than 100 million for equipment, factory construction and office building construction. But Su Pinggan's paint is special. If you want to achieve the expected effect, advanced equipment is a must, all of which are the most advanced. Chapter 87 Busy. Super Paint uses nanomagnetic technology, which is the first in the world. 80% of the equipment is produced by foreign companies. Domestic companies cannot produce these equipment. The gap of many years is not so easy to catch up. Pick up the phone, press a button and dial it. The call is connected soon. The voice of General Manager Su Fengxia comes over. Sister Xia, I sent you an email. You should contact the companies in the catalog and send a fax immediately. Ask them to make a quotation and then summarize it for me, Su Pinggan said directly. The procurement catalog has been sent. Okay, I will personally keep an eye on this matter, Feng Xia said directly. I am assured of your work, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and said a few words to Feng Xia and hung up the phone. A day passed. On the second day, 9 domestic equipment manufacturing companies responded directly and would send special personnel to negotiate. The personnel would arrive within 3 days. 7 companies in RB responded that the head of the Xianchao branch would come in person to negotiate cooperation. On the third day, a total of 46 equipment manufacturers in Europe and the United States had sent receipts. Some of them sent people to negotiate in the near future, and some directly gave quotations. Now everyone knows the name of Xianqi Group, the parent company of Poseidon, and must take it seriously. 2 days later, a German equipment manufacturer arrived at Xianqi Group first. This was beyond Su Pinggan's expectation. He did not expect that a German company would arrive first, and the speed was faster than that of domestic companies. Su Pinggan had to receive them personally. There was no other way. Wu Sike was busy applying for patents, and Feng Xia did not understand procurement in this area, so Su Pinggan had to take action. Fortunately, Daco Headhunting Company had replied that it would bring 3 international managers to interview tomorrow. The German who came was called Hadley. He worked for the German Bain Equipment Company, which was located in Hamburg. Hadley was the company's deputy sales director. He happened to be inspecting the Xianchao branch. After receiving the notice from the headquarters, he rushed over immediately. Getting the order was the first priority. Su Pinggan handed over all the data of the equipment needed to Hadley. Hadley began to contact the company to calculate the price. The next day, the Hamburg headquarters received a receipt and the price was out. After talking with Su Pinggan for about 30 minutes, the contract was finalized. The transaction amount reached 17 million euros. Both parties were very efficient. All formalities were completed by fax. The contract was signed in China. According to the time difference, it was early morning in Germany. It can be seen that Germans are also very hard-working in business. They arranged special people in the early morning for orders. Su Pinggan paid a deposit of 1 million yuan in advance. After the equipment was delivered, debugged, installed and tested, he paid the full amount in one lump sum. The next day, Hetney, a senior representative of the headhunting company, led 4 elites to arrive. In Su Pinggan's office, Hetney handed the information of the 4 applicants to Su Pinggan. Su, all the people who came this time are elites. We carefully selected them. Let me take a look first. You have some tea. Su Pinggan took the information and said directly. Hetney nodded, picked up the teacup and started to drink tea. In China, inviting you to drink tea is the best etiquette, and Hetney is very clear about this. Zayerte, a Spanish national, works for Crimson Chemical, the largest chemical company in Spain. His position is vice president. He has been promoted from sales specialist to vice president all the way. He is considered a senior talent. Jacqueline, a Dutch, works for the Netherlands Marine Chemical Group. She is also the vice president, but she was promoted from the administrative department and is good at internal management. Aubrey is from the German BASF Group. The BASF Group is a world-renowned company that does very well in fine chemicals. The reason why Aubrey came to participate in the recruitment of Shaanxi Group is because Aubrey had a falling out with the company. The company made internal adjustments, and Aubrey was not on the list of promoted personnel. Instead, his opponent, who had been suppressed by Aubrey, was promoted. Aubrey was dissatisfied and went to the president to argue in person. His data in all aspects was better than his opponent, so why was his opponent promoted? No one knows what they talked about. Aubrey submitted his resignation letter the next day. The president tried to retain him but to no avail, so he directly approved Aubrey's resignation. Felina, a Czech, works for the fine chemical sales department of Dow Chemical Company in the United States. She is the deputy minister and was not elected as the minister. It was not because Felina's ability was not good, but because the company could not accept Felina's pregnancy plan. Felina did not accept this reason and resigned directly. She is very individual. After reading the information, Su Pinggan began to interview 4 people in person. He rejected Zayerte and Jacqueline because they were too old and did not meet the strategic needs of Apocalypse. He left Aubrey and Felina. Su Pinggan had a detailed communication with the 2 and revealed some things about the company's products. Both of them were keen to discover the value of the products. They were both veterans and knew very well what profits would be brought by solving the bottom pollution of sea vessels. Another thing is that Apocalypse Group holds Poseidon Company, so there is no problem with funds. If the new paint products can achieve the effect that Su Pinggan said, the rise of Apocalypse Group is only a matter of time. In a few years, it will be an international giant. The 2 expressed their willingness to join Apocalypse Group and signed contracts with the people in the legal department. Aubrey served as the general manager of Apocalypse Paint Company and Felina served as the deputy general manager. After the contract was signed, Su Pinggan had an in-depth negotiation with the 2. Boss, if Super Paint is successful, it will be another Poseidon, Aubrey said seriously. Now I understand where Su Pinggan's confidence comes from. This is a must, otherwise, why would I choose international talents to be in charge of the paint company, Su Pinggan said with a smile, and Aubrey and Felina also laughed. How long will it take for you to officially join the company, Su Pinggan asked. I need about 10 days, Felina said directly. Her home is in the United States, and without about 10 days of arrangements, Felina cannot come to work with peace of mind. I also need about 10 days, Aubrey said seriously. Aubrey's home is in Germany. And he also needs to make good arrangements. I will give you half a month, and you will officially join the company after half a month. Each of you will have a resettlement fee of $10,000. Su Pinggan looked at the 2 of them and said directly, very generous, giving them a resettlement fee of $10,000 directly, so that the 2 of them can feel at ease. Thank you, boss, Aubrey and Felina said directly. Su Pinggan smiled and raised his teacup. Aubrey and Felina also raised their teacups and clinked them with Su Pinggan's teacup. They took a sip and smiled. In the next half month, 9 domestic companies, 7 RB companies, and 47 European and American companies all signed equipment contracts with Shaanxi Group. Once they accepted the order, they had to deliver the equipment to Shaanxi Group on time and with quality assurance, otherwise they would have to pay liquidated damages, which was 3 times the transaction price. They dared not be careless. So many foreigners came to Shaanxi Group, which attracted the attention of the government. After understanding, they were relieved. It turned out to be a new round of equipment procurement. Su Pinggan had just purchased equipment from the Poseidon branch. Seeing that Su Pinggan was about to launch a new project, Chen Qingshan took a car directly to Xianqi Group, talked with Su Pinggan for more than an hour, and went back satisfied. 4 days later, another piece of land of Xianqi Group also began to be occupied by construction companies. The construction company was the second construction company in the provincial capital. The connection of the big boss of J-City kicked off the construction. Su Pinggan was busy, and Kyle was not idle either. After some negotiations, the French Anhui dietary supplement company was acquired and approved by the French Ministry of Commerce, costing €34 million. The American company Acton Dietary Supplements was also acquired by Poseidon. The U.S. Department of Commerce has approved the acquisition at a cost of €36 million. At the same time, Poseidon in Iceland has completed the transformation and is fully committed to producing key raw materials for superfish oil. Since then, Poseidon's international layout has been initially completed. There are production bases in China, Europe, and the United States. It is expected that the branches in the United States and Europe will be put into production in a month. There is no need to build a new site. It only needs to be replaced with the latest production equipment. The Chinese branch will take 3 months. Construction takes time, and installation and debugging of equipment also takes time. The 3-month construction period is very tight. 2 months later, the contract signed by Xianqi Group with 7 hospitals officially expired, and it can be rolled out on a large scale. Many hospitals have contacted Poseidon's Chinese branch. Su Pinggan heard this from Han Jieping. Su Pinggan is busy, and several good brothers are also busy. Mabo is even busier. After receiving financial support from Su Pinggan last year, he immediately launched acquisitions to improve his industrial base. According to the plan of the tycoon, each industrial base will be developed into a small tourist attraction, where you can go outing, pick tea yourself, stay in the mountains, relax, and buy tea at a preferential price at the end of the trip. This year, Mabo started to implement it. When Dongdong.com was promoting, it proposed this promotion. Customers who purchased tea for more than 5,000 yuan at a time could go directly to the tea base in Fujian for 3 days, and the company would bear the cost of food and accommodation. When Su Pinggan talked to Mabo, he learned that Mabo's sales in that month exceeded 100 million yuan, and the net profit reached almost 50 million yuan. The pressure on funds was greatly reduced. If nothing unexpected happens, the construction of the top 10 tea bases will be completed this year, and the upstream industrial chain will be completed. At that time, Mabo's company will integrate domestic and foreign sales of tea, tea-based tourism, and complete the one-stop industrial layout. The annual profit will be very considerable, and it is fully capable of conducting in-depth research in the tea industry. Lin Yide's actions are not small. He directly broke the industry's invisible price agreement and kicked off the price war in the electrical industry. He fought with many manufacturers online. The sales last month reached 340 million yuan, which is a remarkable breakthrough. At the beginning of this year, the family travel company was officially transferred to Zhang Wenyun's name, and it also began to change. It cooperated with Lin Yide for joint promotions. Anyone who purchased Lin Yide's products up to a certain amount would be arranged for XZ Travel, and Zhang Wenyun's travel company would be responsible for it. Although the travel expenses were broken down, a lot of share was obtained from hotel accommodation and souvenir sales, and it did not lose money. Moreover, the bagged tea made from broken tea leaves from Mabo was sold for more than 3 million. At the beginning of the month, Su Pinggan arranged for 2 guards to accompany his parents on the trip. Zhang Wenyun's travel agency was responsible for arranging an independent tour guide for 1 month. After 1 month, Su Pinggan settled a bill with Zhang Wenyun. I came back late today, please forgive me. Here are the 3 updates. Chapter 88, he looks like he has made me a fortune. Su Mingyang and Li Rulong were particularly envious of Su Pinggan and his 3 friends. They wanted to quit their jobs and start their own businesses, but their families were all against it, especially their parents, who were the vanguard of opposition. When they talked on the phone, they were very depressed, and there was nothing they could do about it. Time slowly entered the end of June. The Poseidon branch was extremely busy. The staff had been recruited, the raw materials from Iceland had been delivered, and the factory began trial production. After the trial production, the price of superfish oil would inevitably fall. My parents came back from their trip, carrying a lot of big and small bags. They had a very enjoyable month of traveling. Su Pinggan also settled all the expenses with Zhang Wenhan, and tried to return home every day to eat and spend more time with his parents. Others did not understand, but Su Hong and his wife knew very well that this was a sign of going on a long journey again. Aubrey, the general manager of the paint factory, and Frida, the deputy general manager, also came to work. The finance and legal affairs were directly sent by the headquarters, and the other two were responsible for recruitment. At present, the two were busy with factory construction and equipment reception. There were not many things to do, and Su Pinggan did not need to worry about it. Su Pinggan could take time to make his own plans. This time, Su Pinggan arranged a lot of tasks for himself, and he was out for a long time. After a busy week or so, Su Pinggan left home with 4 bodyguards and drove out. The first stop was Beijing. It was very fast to take the highway. Including the rest time halfway, it took 10 hours to reach Beijing. He stayed in a resort hotel outside the 6th Ring Road. The price was several hundred yuan cheaper than the city. Su Pinggan did not choose Beijing because of the price, but because he would not stay in Beijing for a long time. He was mainly going to meet someone and would leave Beijing after the deal was settled. Zhu Hongyan, weighing more than 200 pounds, with small eyes, a big nose, a kind face, and great affinity, was 27 years old. At this moment, he was sitting restlessly at his home in the British-style community in Changping district. He frowned and sweated a lot on his face. Obviously, he was worried. Damn, I am so low-key that I was targeted. Who could it be? Zhu Hongyan couldn't figure it out. Zhu Hongyan also has another identity, a hacker. He is very powerful. Xingling gave him an A+ potential. His online name is, Second Brother is not accepted. He is active in many places around the world and has made a lot of money. Today, I received a strange phone call. The other party knew everything about him, including some of his extra income. This made Zhu Hongyan uneasy. Once these extra incomes were exposed, it would be no problem to sentence him to several decades. How could he not be anxious? After walking for a while, I was hungry, so I turned around to open the refrigerator, took a bag and a large bottle of Fat House Happy Water and sat down. I opened the bag and found a large piece of braised beef in it. I started eating directly. I had consumed too much energy from walking back and forth just now, so I had to make up for it. Only by eating freely can I calm down and make my head clearer. This is Zhu Hongyan's unique skill, which others can't learn. After a night, Zhu Hongyan got up to wash his face. Looking at himself in the mirror, his eye sockets were sunken, and he sighed slowly. Go. If you don't go to see this person, you will definitely end up in trouble. The other party even knows your ID number. What else can you do? People have to bow their heads under the low eaves. After washing up, he got dressed and came out with his computer bag. He had a big bowl of mutton soup and 2 big pancakes. After eating and drinking, he returned to the garage of the community and drove away. The meeting place mentioned by the other party was at the South 6th Ring Road, and he was at the North 6th Ring Road, which was really far away. Zhu Hongyan's car was a specially made car. He was too fat, and ordinary cars were very uncomfortable to drive. He specially made a car from Geely. It looked ordinary on the outside, but it was very high-tech inside. The price of the whole car was as high as 1.3 million. After driving the car back, Zhu Hongyan renovated it at home for more than half a year. He renovated it himself. The whole car has a very high technological content. He took out a remote control from his pocket and pressed it. He raised his hand and pressed it on the car window. A green light passed by, and the car door opened. Zhu Hongyan opened the door and got in the car. He raised his hand in the middle of the square plate, and a camera rose up to scan the iris and tongue pattern. After the scan, the camera retracted and the car started directly. Location, Haitian Resort Hotel, Zhu Hongyan said, and a map began to appear on the LCD screen next to him, and the map began to be automatically navigated. After looking at the map, Zhu Hongyan drove out. Go directly to the 6th Ring Expressway, which is the fastest. More than an hour later, Zhu Hongyan arrived at the Haitian Resort Hotel, parked the car, got off with his bag, pressed the remote control and went straight to the hotel's accommodation department. The meeting place was room 1116. He walked towards the elevator and saw that the elevator was about to close. He ran a few steps and finally caught up. He just took a few breaths. Ding ding ding, the sound of the elevator being overloaded came to mind. Damn it, Zhu Hongyan shouted unhappily and got off the elevator. Everyone else in the elevator laughed. Soon, the elevator door next to him opened, and Zhu Hongyan went in directly. This time he was the only one, and he went upstairs smoothly. After walking out of the elevator, he looked at the house number of the room next to him and began to look for room 1116. Soon they found it. There were two people standing at the door. They were obviously bodyguards. Zhu Hongyan walked over with an unhappy look on his face. "I'm here for the appointment," he said directly. The two bodyguards looked at each other and one of them went in. Soon, they came out again and let Zhu Hongyan go in by himself. The two continued to stand at the door. This was a large suite with a large living room. A young man was sitting on the sofa and drinking tea leisurely. When he saw Zhu Hongyan, he pointed to the sofa opposite and continued to drink tea. Zhu Hongyan walked over and sat down directly, and began to look Su Pingyan up and down. The more he looked at Su Pingyan, the more familiar he looked. He must have seen this bastard there. He had a thoughtful expression on his face. Neither of them spoke, and Su Pingyan picked up the last small cup of tea and drank it. "Do you remember who I am?" Su Pingyan asked suddenly, very suddenly. "No," Zhu Hongyan blurted out subconsciously, and then regretted it and stopped talking. Su Pingyan smiled. "Let me introduce myself. My name is Su Pingyan," he said and stretched out his right hand. Zhu Hongyan said and shook hands with Su Pingyan. When he heard Su Pingyan's name, Zhu Hongyan already remembered who Su Pingyan was. He was the luckiest person in this century. It was hard not to remember him. "Mr. Su, what do you want to talk to me about?" Zhu Hongyan asked. "I plan to set up a game company and would like to invite Mr. Zhu to join as the head of the program department," Su Pingyan said directly. "Sorry, I don't have the idea of joining the company," Zhu Hongyan refused directly. "I'll ask you again, think about it carefully before making a decision," Su Pingyan said with a meaningful look at Zhu Hongyan. Zhu Hongyan looked at Su Pingyan with a constipated face. "Damn it, you are threatening me so obviously, and you look like you have taken me. How can I answer? If I refuse you, you will definitely report me. Mr. Su, we have no grudges. If there's anything you need me to do, just tell me. I will do it for free. I hope Mr. Su can let me go," Zhu Hongyan said with a miserable look on his face. Now there is no other way except to pretend to be pitiful. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89, You Are a Gangster. If God doesn't take you, I will. Mr. Zhu, I never like to force others to do things. Do you really think you are doing it very secretly? To tell you the truth, those data were obtained by my people from a foreign organization, and you have been exposed. I think you are a rare talent, so I plan to invite you to join and save you once. If you don't want to, you can leave now. I believe it won't take long before the foreign wanted order will arrive in China. You can do it yourself." Su Pingyan spread his hands and let Zhu Hongyan make his own choice. Zhu Hongyan narrowed his eyes and began to think about whether Su Pingyan's words were true or false. He was actually controlled by someone. He was very careful every time he acted, and the cleanup work was checked 3 times. Moreover, he acted through the broiler server. How could he be caught? Could it be that Su Pingyan was fooling him? Zhu Hongyan rolled his eyes and looked at Su Pingyan. "Don't look at me like that. Let me remind you that the broiler you are using is a large computer in Malaysia. Unfortunately, this computer is also used as a broiler by others, so you are in trouble," Su Pingyan said with a smile on his face. "Are you kidding me?" Zhu Hongyan was completely stunned. Su Pingyan was talking about the location of the broilers he used, and they were all activated when he was carrying out high-profit activities. He had conducted a detailed inspection before each use, and there was no other discovery, unless the other party's strength was much higher than his own. However, are there such masters in the world? Mr. Zhu, join my company. You can have your own advanced equipment openly, as long as you complete your work tasks. You are free at ordinary times, and I plan to arrange the location of the company in Hangzhou. You should know that there are many beauties in Hangzhou, no less than the beauties stored in the hard drive of your computer. Su Pingyan looked at Zhu Hongyan and said with a smile. His eyes were full of meaning. Really? Zhu Hongyan's eyes lit up. Of course it's true. Su Pinggan said with a smile. Damn, how do you know the beauty's stored in my computer hard drive? Zhu Hongyan looked at Su Pinggan with a look of astonishment, and he had already reacted. Damn, you have invaded my computer, this is too much? Zhu Hongyan was completely uncalm at this moment. Su Pinggan was stunned, and immediately realized that he had said the wrong thing. He smiled embarrassedly. It was a mistake, it was a mistake. I saw it when I was reading the report. You can rest assured that I have deleted the report, Su Pinggan immediately said seriously. Zhu Hongyan looked at Su Pinggan. Delete your sister, what should I do? Everything about me is controlled by the other party, I have no cards in my hand, will I work for the other party for the rest of my life? Zhu Hongyan was a little anxious. Zhu, let's make a bet. My master will fight with you once. Things on the internet should be solved on the internet. If you win, just pretend that I have never appeared. If I win, you can rest assured to join my company. I will provide you with a treatment that will satisfy you, Su Pinggan said slowly. How to fight, Zhu Hongyan said seriously. This is his chance and he must seize it. It's very simple. Choose a commercial website. You can choose to be the attacking party or the defending party. The time is 30 minutes. How about one game to decide the winner? Su Pinggan looked at Zhu Hongyan and said calmly. Okay, Zhu Hongyan agreed. Turn on your computer, Su Pinggan said, and left, going to the room to take out his laptop. Zhu Hongyan didn't waste any words, opened his bag and took out his laptop, which was custom-made abroad and cost $60,000. It was definitely the top configuration. The two faced each other, each turned on their own computer, and Su Pinggan connected a microphone and operated on the computer for a while. Zingling, did you hear me? Su Pinggan said directly. I heard it, hurry up, I have other things to do. An electronic synthesized voice appeared. Don't worry, it will be quick, Su Pinggan said directly. Have you chosen a website? Su Pinggan asked. Okay, the biggest rogue website is Fairy, I will defend, as long as your people can modify the homepage of Fairy, I will admit defeat, Zhu Hongyan said seriously. Okay, get ready, my people will start attacking in 10 minutes. Once my people win, the words, rogue, if God doesn't accept you, I will accept you, will appear on the homepage, Su Pinggan said to Zhu Hongyan, and Zhu Hongyan nodded. Although Baidu is a very rogue, its server is the best in China, and even better than that of the relevant departments. The top hackers know this. Zingling, you heard it, start preparing, and start the attack in 10 minutes, Su Pinggan said lightly. Okay, Zingling agreed, and Zhu Hongyan also heard it, and immediately began to act quickly, and the fire prevention program he compiled began to fully cover the Baidu homepage to fill the loophole for Baidu. Baidu's network security department immediately discovered Zhu Hongyan's actions and began to monitor immediately. When they found that Zhu Hongyan was filling the loophole, everyone was shocked. Damn, hackers did not attack but helped to fill the loophole. What happened to this world? The supervisor was also confused. Could this be a master invited by the boss? He immediately reported it to the senior management. After receiving the news, the senior management was also shocked. He immediately put down everything at hand and started to go to the security department. This matter was too unusual. If it was not good, it would cause countless losses. When the senior management arrived, they were even more shocked. Not only was there a hacker helping to fill the loophole, but there was also a hacker attacking the website. Chairman, I think our website has become a battlefield for two major hackers to fight. They must be betting on something. This situation is very common in the hacker community. Only top hackers would dare to do this. Mapai, the head of the security department, is also a hacker and is very familiar with this scene. Can you find out who these two hackers are? Chairman Jia Zhengjin asked. We can't do it. These two are world class. Our defense adopts the standards of the United States. If the battle is placed in other companies, it will not be able to stop it either. Our technology is too different from that of hackers. In terms of the technology of the defenders, they are much stronger than us. In 10 minutes, they have made up for more than 70 vulnerabilities in us, many of which are vulnerabilities that we can't imagine, Mapai said with a look of discomfort. Jia Zhengjin was silent. He knew Mapai's strength. He was the most skilled person on his side. Now listening to Mapai's words, he clearly realized what the strength of top hackers was. No wonder large American network companies are so low-key. They have to be low-key. Chapter 90. Everyone started thinking. Zhu Hongyan lit a cigarette for himself, picked up the tea that Su Pinggan had brewed and drank it directly, then began to type on the keyboard with his hands flying. It wasn't long before there were already 4 cigarettes in the ashtray next to him. 10 minutes, Su Pinggan said after looking at his watch. Zhu Hongyan pretended that he couldn't hear Su Pinggan's words and concentrated on letting go. The outside world had already started to explode. This hacker war had been detected by many companies and related institutions. Jia's Hengjin kept answering the phone to explain. To be honest, his website had become a battlefield for the 2 major hackers to fight. Everyone understood what was going on and stopped asking. If the leader didn't understand, his subordinates would also understand, and they would understand what was going on once explained. This kind of battlefield is rare, and many companies have begun to organize people to analyze the attack and defense methods used by the 2, hoping to learn a little. This is a fight between top hackers, and the opportunity is too rare. Time passed slowly. 15 minutes, Su Pinggan smiled and said. 15 minutes, Zhu Hongyan frowned, and sweat poured down his face. The opponent's attack became more intense. After thinking for a while, he gritted his teeth and ran a special program to increase his defense strength. Report: our server has been hijacked and joined the defense side, the Network Security Department monitoring personnel of 369 degrees reported. Damn, are you kidding me? A group of senior executives of 369 degrees began to get upset. 369 degrees is an antivirus company. It was hijacked so easily. If this gets out, the reputation of their company will be ruined. What should I do? A group of people are walking back and forth, and there is no way. They can't shut down the equipment. If they do that, the company's reputation will be ruined. Too many companies are monitoring this matter. As soon as something happened to 369 degrees, it was grasped. Everyone was shocked, and many people were upset. The antivirus company couldn't bear it, so how could this be? It didn't take long. A few minutes later, report, the server of Antarctic Goose Company was also hijacked and joined the attacking side. Everyone began to have a headache. Ferry, 369, and Antarctic Goose are 3 large network companies ranked in the top 5 in terms of comprehensive strength in China. They were completely powerless in front of the top hackers. Many people took a deep breath and began to ponder. Antarctic Goose Company has 2 major social softwares, but it is a very rogue and domineering one. The company's server equipment is top-notch and the staff is also quite elite. It was hijacked so easily. Horror, great horror. Su Pinggan smoked leisurely, looking at the fat man in front of him. He is worthy of being an A+ rated person. His level is really good. However, your opponent is beyond your imagination. You don't deserve to lose. Time passed bit by bit. Damn it! Zhu Hongyan slapped his computer with both hands, leaned back, leaned against the sofa with his chest bulging, closed his eyes and didn't speak. I lost? I really don't want to accept it. I would have won in another 5 minutes. What a pity. The person you found is quite capable. He can even block one of my hands. Withdraw and deposit a fee into my account. An electronically synthesized voice appeared. Zhu Hongyan immediately opened his eyes and stared at Su Pinggan without saying a word. The webpage of the ferry on Su Pinggan's computer had changed. The words, "You are a rogue. If God doesn't take you, I will take you," appeared, and there was also a 10-minute countdown sign. "Clean up, we'll talk after it's done," Su Pinggan said lightly. Zhu Hongyan knew the importance of the matter and began to withdraw and clean up. The servers of 369 degrees and Polar Bear Company returned to normal. The outside world collectively exploded. The rogue company was actually hacked by hackers. Many netizens cheered with both hands, and some even set off firecrackers to celebrate. Many company heads looked at the computer screen without saying a word. Such powerful hackers, their own companies couldn't stand it. What should they do? They all began to ponder. Judging from the messages, the hackers chose the ferry company as the battlefield, and they were also unhappy with the ferry company. The warning in this sentence is very obvious. Should the company's strategy be changed? If the hacker is offended, the company will be finished. This thought appeared in the minds of many internet company bosses. Jia's Hengjin looked at the message in front of him and had an urge to vomit blood. However, he had already developed a thick skin that was thicker than the Great Wall. He turned around and left the security department with a gloomy face. No one knew where he went. A few minutes later, Su Pinggan and Zhu Hongyan slowly drank tea and negotiated. Although Zhu Hongyan yearned for freedom, he was also a trustworthy person. If he lost, he lost. He was willing to accept the loss. You really give me this kind of treatment, Zhu Hongyan said a little unbelievably. Of course, you are the boss of the program department, and you have the final say. You can arrange your own working hours, which will not be included in the assessment. As long as you complete the task, it will be fine. We are a first-class internet company here. When the time comes, we will definitely recruit a lot of highly educated and beautiful women. Your chance to get out of singlehood has come, understand, Su Pinggan said with a smile. If you hit a stick, you must give a candy. Su Pinggan can still grasp what the fat man needs in his heart. Why did you choose Hangzhou? Isn't Beijing good? Zhu Hongyan asked puzzledly. Environment, Beijing is good, but the air is much worse than Hangzhou. Hangzhou has a lot of rain, and the air is very good, Su Pinggan said bluntly. When will I go there? Zhu Hongyan asked. Wait a minute, I have to find a few more people, like you, who are all very low-key hackers. When the people are all here, I will notify you, Su Pinggan said directly, and Zhu Hongyan nodded. By the way, you can carefully select the equipment you need. After I arrange it, give me the catalog and I will arrange for people to purchase it. It must be the top-notch. Do you understand? Su Pinggan said directly. Don't worry, I won't save you money, Zhu Hongyan said with a smile on his face. Su Pinggan shrugged his shoulders and said, come on, let's see if I can bear it. At noon, the two had a meal and separated. Su Pinggan rested for a day and left Beijing the next day. The second stop was Tianjin, where there was a very low-key hacker Mi Jian, whose Zingling rating was B and potential rating was A+. The third stop was Nanshang, Zhangzi. Kui Xianai and Su Pinggan were recruited. Zingling rated B and potential rated A+. The fourth stop was Dongguan, Guangdong. Li Changfang was recruited. Zingling rated B and potential rated A. The fifth stop was Shenzhen. Gao Haiyang was recruited. Zingling rated B and potential rated A. The sixth stop was Shanghai. Yao Peng was recruited. Zingling rated B and potential rated A. He went directly from Shanghai to Hangzhou to meet up with Wu Sikei. This time Su Pinggan came out. Wu Sikei also left the company and was sent by Su Pinggan to Hangzhou to acquire 3 network companies. The acquisition has been completed and 130 million yuan has been spent. Chapter 91, Stability First in Middle Age. The reason why they spent so much money was that all 3 companies were profitable companies. It was no problem to make a few million a year. If they wanted the company to make more money, they had to invest a lot. A big investment was fine, but what if they lost money? This was not just a small investment, but tens of millions of dollars each, which was not a small number. When the 3 bosses were in a dilemma, Wu Sikei appeared and solved their problem. Hangzhou Mihu Hotel, 26th floor. The rooms on this floor were all large suites, large in area, large in space, high in price, and luxuriously decorated. In room 2611, Su Pinggan and Wu Sikei were drinking tea and chatting in the living room. Lightning Technology Company, the 3 Kingdoms battle game they developed is currently going downhill. Since last year, the company's departments have only left and no new employees have joined. Most of the people who stay now are just trying to get by. Lingayan Technology Company, their main business is to make follow-up games. If a small game sells well, they will immediately develop and join in, and make a profit through operation. Sirui Technology Company, the main business is outsourcing app development, which can be considered as barely making a living. The employee's income is average, and the boss's income is not much. This is also the fundamental reason why they are willing to sell. Wu Sikei reported the acquisition to Su Pinggan. Have you found any available talents? Su Pinggan asked with a smile, picked up the cigarette on the table and handed it to Wu Sikei. Wu Sikei lit it for Su Pinggan, and the two began to smoke. I actually found 2. I talked to several vice presidents of the 3 companies. Yi Changlin, the vice president of Lightning Technology, is a man with a lot of ideas, but a good cook cannot cook without rice. Chang Xingxin, the operations manager of Lingayan Technology, is a very capable girl. The 7 vice presidents of the 3 companies all unanimously praise her. This is very unusual, Wu Sikei said truthfully. Hearing what you said, I am more interested in Chang Xingxin. There are many technology companies in Hangzhou. Those who can be unanimously recognized must have ability, Su Pinggan said slowly. Wu Sikei nodded and agreed with Su Pinggan's analysis. Let me ask you something. You acquired a company in Hangzhou. Do you plan to move the company's headquarters to Hangzhou? Wu Sike asked. Why do you have this idea? Do you think it's better there? Su Pinggan asked with a smile. It must be Hangzhou. In J-City, all you can do at night is use computers. Although there are some bars, it's hard to find any genuine goods inside, and there's no atmosphere. The prices are also very high. Hangzhou is different. The nightlife is very colorful, and there are all kinds of shopping and leisure facilities. In J-City, there's no tea house to drink tea. If you really move the headquarters here, I agree with both hands, Wu Sike said with a smile, and Su Pinggan also smiled. The headquarters will not be moved for the time being. The fundamental reason for staying in J-City is to facilitate me to accompany my parents. They are old and reluctant to leave their hometown. If they move to Hangzhou with me, they won't have any acquaintances, and they won't even be able to find anyone to talk to, which is not good for the elderly. So, the headquarters will not change in the short term. And some preparations should still be prepared. Do you understand what I mean? Su Pinggan looked at Wu Sike and said. I understand. If it were me, I would do the same, Wu Sike said seriously. Su Pinggan raised his teacup, and the two clinked their cups and drank it directly. Filial piety comes first, and Wu Sike understands and agrees with Su Pinggan's actions. Have the financial staff come? Su Pinggan asked. Ho Minghe sent 3 people here. They have already arrived. They are currently rectifying the finances of the 3 companies. They should be finished soon. They have been busy for 4 or 5 days, Wu Sike said directly, and Su Pinggan nodded. Please notify those vice presidents. I will talk to them at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. By the way, let Chang Xingxin come over. We must speed up the integration, Su Pinggan said directly. Okay, I will notify them now. Wu Sike took out his mobile phone and started to notify them one by one. Come to the hotel to talk to the boss tomorrow afternoon. Su Pinggan drank tea slowly while waiting for Wu Sike to call, and filled Wu Sike's cup by the way. The two of them have cooperated for such a long time, and they are very happy and cooperate well. Su Pinggan is very satisfied with this. Old Wu, how did you negotiate with your law firm? Did you get any results? Su Pinggan asked. Wu Sike took a sip from the small teacup, sighed deeply, and his expression was a little gloomy. Su Pinggan had a bad premonition. Did Wu Sike not discuss with the headquarters to stay? I will stay at Chianki Group from now on, Wu Sike said slowly while looking at Su Pinggan's face. Damn, you scared me to death, Su Pinggan said. It was obvious that Wu Sike was just scaring himself. How can I bear to leave when the treatment here is so good? Wu Sike said with a smile, and Su Pinggan also smiled. Let's go, it's noon, have a drink with me. Su Pinggan put down the cup and stood up, and Wu Sike stood up with him. The two did not go out, but ordered 4 dishes and a soup in the hotel restaurant, and asked for 2 bottles of Jiananshan to drink directly. Anyway, there was nothing to do in the afternoon, so they went to rest directly after drinking, and met again tomorrow. Yi Changlin put down the phone in the office of Lightning Technology, with a solemn expression on his face. It was Wu Sike's lawyer who called just now. The boss came and wanted to talk to him tomorrow afternoon. Yi Changlin knew very well that this so-called talk would determine his stay or departure. Zhang Jinglin, this bastard, sold the company and left, leaving only 50,000 yuan for me. At the beginning, it was said to be 10% of the shares. Although it is not time yet, I have paid 6 years. Yi Changlin was filled with grief and indignation when he thought of this. After a while, he sighed deeply and prepared to face the interview tomorrow. As a wage earner, even if he was the vice president of the company, he could not change his identity as a wage earner. It was a pity that he could not get ahead. There were many people who thought like Yi Changlin. Several people who received calls from Wu Sike today had similar ideas. But what could you do if life was like this? Chianki Group was a big company. I hoped to stay and work for 2 years to save some money. It would be better to do a small business than to work. Chang Xingxin was also a little confused in the room she rented. The new boss wanted to see her. Would he keep her? After the old company was acquired, the senior management would definitely not stay. As the manager of the operations department, she was within the scope of the cleanup. What did he mean by wanting to see her now? After thinking about it, she couldn't figure it out. Forget it. Let's meet. If possible, she wouldn't have to go to Shenzhen to join her classmates. When she arrived at the new company, she would have to start all over again, which would be very difficult. The 8 people all had their own ideas and began to simulate the interview scenario in the office. It never hurts to be more prepared. The seriousness they had when they first started working was once again reflected in everyone. After lunch the next day, several people left the office and took a taxi or drove to the Mihu Hotel to prepare for the crucial interview. When people reach middle age, stability comes first, and they really can't stand the tossing. Chapter 92. Who has any opinions now? Su Pinggan talked to each person for about 30 minutes. The questions he asked were all very practical and pragmatic. If you are not a pragmatic person, you can't answer Su Pinggan's questions at all. Even if you use your own cleverness to perfunctorily answer, Su Pinggan will find out. In the evening, I had dinner with Wu Sike and decided that Yi Changlin and Chang Xingxin could stay, and the others were dismissed, because these people were more or less perfunctory in the interview today and avoided some key issues. This kind of avoidance is the most undesirable. If there is a problem in one link of the operation of an enterprise, it is very likely to drag down other links. The most important thing to avoid is perfunctory. You can clearly say that you can't do it, or oppose this matter, but the only thing you can't do is perfunctory. Several companies must be gathered together to work in one place. Su Pinggan and Wu Sike agree on this point. Only when they are gathered together can they be considered formally integrated. Otherwise, it is difficult to form a force if they are scattered. I remember a friend told me that there is a 17-story building for sale near the International Expo Center. I will ask tomorrow, Wu Sike said directly. Is it your lawyer colleague? Su Pinggan said with a smile. Yes, it seems that the assets of this building are involved in a financial dispute and have been seized by the court. Wu Sike frowned with a thoughtful expression. Let's find out tomorrow. If it's appropriate, we can get it directly through the court, Su Pinggan said directly. It depends on the situation. If we can reach an agreement with the debtor, we may be able to get it at a lower price, Wu Sike said with a smile, and Su Pinggan also smiled. The two raised their glasses and clinked them. The next day, Wu Sike began to get busy. He didn't return until the evening and reported to Su Pinggan. According to what you said, buying it back from the court is the best way, Su Pinggan said with a frown. Yes, I really don't know if I don't investigate today. This is not a simple debt dispute between 2 companies, but a debt dispute between 7 companies. It is very cumbersome and complicated. It will take more than half a year for the court to hear it clearly, Wu Sike said seriously. What is the court's selling price? Su Pinggan asked directly. According to the current situation, the court has given 2 options. The first one is to sell it at a fixed price of 430 million yuan. The other option is a judicial auction with a starting price of 200 million yuan. The final price is unknown. The judicial auction will take 2 months to proceed. Now we only have 2 choices. One is to buy the building directly at a fixed price, and the other is to give up this goal and look for a new one. Wu Sike analyzed the current situation. 430 million yuan, including various stamp duties, is more than 500 million yuan. You dare to ask for it? Let's give up this goal. We are not short of money, but we can't be a sucker, Su Pinggan said directly. I think so too. Today, I asked a friend to help me contact him. There is a building not far from our target. It has 26 floors. The developer has just built it and has not sold it yet. The other party responded that if we can pay the full amount at one time, we can get a preferential price, Wu Sike said directly. Does the other party have complete procedures? Su Pinggan asked. Many people mortgage their properties to small companies first, then to large companies, and finally sell them through contracts. They sell one property to 3 companies, and finally run away with the money. The remaining 3 companies start endless lawsuits, which are very complicated. There is a way to crack this. If it is a formal mortgage, it must be registered with a housing authority. We will know it as soon as we check. If it is an illegal mortgage, their transaction is illegal. It is the developer who defrauded them. It has nothing to do with us. We will use it as we should. As long as our procedures with a developer are complete, there will be no problem. Another way is that we can check at the real estate bureau first, get a certificate from the real estate bureau, and then negotiate with the other party to transfer the property first and pay later. We can open a joint account in a bank and unblock it directly after we complete the procedures. During this period, if the bank transfers the money to the other party privately and causes us losses, then the money must be borne by the bank. We can sue the bank for compensation, Wu Sike said seriously. Okay, You can contact them on my behalf tomorrow and see what price they offer. If the price is not suitable, we will not buy it. We will directly contact the Investment Promotion Bureau and buy a piece of land to build it slowly. It's nothing more than paying more rent for a while. Su Pinggan made a decision immediately. Yes, our Shyanki group has come here to invest, so we must give us some preferential policies. I will also contact the city's investment promotion office tomorrow. Don't miss the preferential policies, Wu Sike said with a smile, and Su Pinggan also laughed. A night passed. Su Pinggan got up in the morning and had breakfast. He took a cart to Lightning Technology. The two divided the work. Su Pinggan was responsible for integrating the company. Su Pinggan went directly to the meeting room when he arrived at Lightning Technology. The vice presidents of other companies have come. Su Pinggan waved his hand and asked everyone to sit down. Gentlemen, Mr. Yi Changlin and Ms. Chang Xingxin meet the needs of the company's development and will continue to stay. As for the rest of you, if you are willing to be demoted and reduce your salary, you can also stay. I don't know what you think. Su Pinggan looked at everyone and announced his opinion directly. Mr. Su, can I know why you judged me unqualified? Lingayan Technology's Deputy General Manager Zhou Quan stood up and asked directly. It's very simple. As the Deputy General Manager, you are in charge of product development. When I asked you yesterday about why the company didn't develop a game by itself, you didn't tell the truth. You didn't know the program department you were in charge of that well. You know the projects that the program department is working on, but you are vague about the progress of each project. The data in my hand is the latest statistics. You are very clear about this. What you said is very different from what I know. This means that you are just messing around and your mind is not on the work. Tell me yourself, why should I keep you? Su Pinggan looked at Zhou Quan and expressed his opinion. Zhou Quan blushed and said nothing. It's the same for others. Shyanki Company needs pragmatic people, not people who mess around. I will give each of you 30 minutes. Each of you has the problem of perfunctory me. I am not wrong about this, right? Who of you has any opinions now? Su Pinggan leaned back and looked at everyone. No one said anything. Su Pinggan knew where he lost points after explaining it like this. There was no point in quibbling. Let's part ways in peace. If you cooperate with Yi Changlin to integrate a company, I will give you 1 month's salary as compensation. Otherwise, you can resign now and go through the formalities immediately. There will be no compensation, Su Pinggan said slowly. Everyone nodded bitterly. It was already very good to have 1 month's salary compensation. They all expressed their willingness to cooperate with Yi Changlin for the integration. Chapter 93. You got a great bargain. Very good. Now you return to the company to stabilize the employees, and announce that everyone will be subject to basic assessment in the near future. Those who pass the assessment will stay, and those who fail can only leave. You can also apply now, and the finance department will settle all their salaries. Changlin, you go and negotiate with them. The specific assessment method will be announced tomorrow. Su Pinggan looked at Yi Changlin and said directly. Yes, Mr. Su. Yi Changlin stood up, looked at everyone, and took everyone out together. Chang Xingxin, stay for a while, Su Pinggan said directly. Chang Xingxin was stunned and stayed. Sit down, Su Pinggan pointed to the chair next to him and Chang Xingxin sat down. Yesterday we talked about it in a general way. I want to hear your views on the operation of large-scale terminal games. Su Pinggan looked at Chang Xingxin and said directly. Chang Xingxin breathed a sigh of relief and felt much more at ease. He might not understand other aspects very well, but he knew everything about game operation. Mr. Su, large-scale online terminal games. Chang Xingxin began to talk about his own views, including the performance of terminal games in the current market, and the terminal game operation methods of other companies, with clear advantages and disadvantages. According to what you said, the focus of big companies is not on game development, but on operation, Su Pinggan asked with a frown. It can be said that in China, the 4 largest game companies in China currently have only one main development team, and the number of people will definitely not exceed 200. The rest of the development teams are imitating the framework of foreign terminal games. After internal personnel change the buildings, portraits, clothing, terrain and other means, they are directly put on the market for operation after a facelift. After making a sum of money, they can make a certain facelift and make another sum of money. Until the players are disgusted with this theme and don't play it, they can change to another theme. It's very easy. This can be seen at a glance by how many people are in their development department. Chang Xingxin said very confidently. Is there anything that needs to be improved in the games that are currently operated by Lightning? If you are responsible for the operation, how do you plan to increase the activity of players? It's not a model where you just make a sum of money and go with it, Su Pinggan asked with a smile. Boss Su, there is still a certain market for Lightning's Three Kingdoms battle games. Apart from other things, if Boss Su is willing to invest and replace all the game servers with the latest servers in the current market, the current number of active customers can immediately increase by more than 20%. If you want to keep the game popular for a long time, the key is to design the game level well and give it a certain degree of fairness. RMB players can gain advantages through money, and players without money can maintain a balance with RMB players by sacrificing time. If we just accommodate RMB players, the path of this game will become narrower and narrower. If there are no ordinary players, RMB players will leave without hesitation. We can attract players through certain promotional means and some small gifts. I believe that as long as we can make them feel fair, the number of players will not decrease. With a large number of ordinary players, there is no need to worry about the lack of RMB players, Chang Xingxin said truthfully. Su Pinggan and Chang Xingxin asked and answered questions for almost an hour. During this period, Yi Changlin came once, but did not come in. Seeing Chang Xingxin talking non-stop, Su Pinggan frowned and did not come in to disturb her. After Su Pinggan and Chang Xingxin came out, Yi Changlin came to report. Everything has been arranged. A notice will be issued this afternoon. Those who are willing to stay will be arranged for assessment in the near future. Those who are unwilling to stay will go directly to the Human Resources Department to register. I will explain to the Finance Department in a while. You should immediately purchase hardware to configure 50 high-performance computers. After completion, you can come to the hotel to find me. I will give you the test plan and test questions, Su Pinggan said directly. Okay, Chairman, I will arrange it immediately, Yi Changlin said directly, and Su Pinggan nodded. After walking around the company, he went to the Finance Department before leaving and talked about the purchase. The Finance Department expressed its full cooperation. When the financial staff came, the headquarters allocated 10 million yuan, and the funds in the account were very sufficient. After the various procedures of the company were completed, the funds in the account would be transferred to the company account to maintain the normal operation of the enterprise. When it was almost time for dinner, Wu Sike called. The investment promotion office invited guests in the evening and hoped that Su Pinggan could also attend. Su Pinggan agreed. He understood what Wu Sike meant. The other party wanted to confirm whether he was in Hangzhou. After Wu Sike contacted the Merchants Bureau, the staff of the Merchants Bureau did not dare to delay for a moment and reported to the municipal government. When a listed company or a large company with strength that has not been listed came to invest, it must be reported to the municipal government. Xianqi Group is a very large company. Although it does not have many industries in the Celestial Empire, one Poseidon is equivalent to many large domestic companies. Poseidon earns euros and dollars. It is a company that must be reported to the mayor immediately. Today, the people from the merchant's office came out to treat us to a meal, just to test whether Su Pinggan is in Hangzhou. It is not enough to just listen to Wu Sike's words. We must see the real person. After all, Xianqi Group is a private enterprise and Su Pinggan can make the final decision. If Su Pinggan is in Hangzhou, we can't miss this opportunity. Tomorrow, a big boss will discuss investment with Su Pinggan, and we must take it seriously. Su Pinggan's photo is easy to find. After all, Su Pinggan was reported by too many media last year. Once he saw him in person, everything was clear. In the evening, Su Pinggan had dinner with Wu Sike and several leaders of the merchant's office. When they saw Su Pinggan in person, they all knew what was going on. This time, Xianqi Group came here not for fun, but for real investment. Su Pinggan came here in person to explain a lot of things. During the meal, someone had already reported to the city boss. It was agreed that a car would be sent to the hotel to pick up Su Pinggan tomorrow. The city leaders wanted to have a good talk with Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan agreed. Tonight can be said to be a happy evening for both the host and the guest. At 10 o'clock the next morning, Su Pinggan was picked up by the mayor's secretary. He didn't come back until after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He was a little drunk. He had just rested in the room for a while when Wu Sike came back. The two communicated with each other. Wu Sike was envious of Su Pinggan, which made Su Pinggan stunned. He couldn't figure out why Wu Sike looked at him like that. Boss Su, now I believe the evaluation of you by the media. You really deserve to be the luckiest person of this century. Hangzhou has given you the top preferential policies. As far as I know, local state-owned enterprises do not have such treatment. I'm afraid that Boss Ma didn't get such a policy back then, Wu Sike said jealously. What about the conditions? Why don't you tell me how much a global landmark building costs, and the area is 300 acres, Su Ping'an said unhappily, leaning on the sofa and saying nothing. Ping'an, did you tell me the location? Wu Sike asked. Su Ping'an stood up and took the computer, opened the map, and marked a location on it, turning it over to let Wu Sike see it. Wu Sike looked at it and felt even more unhappy. Damn, you got a big bargain. Chapter 94, Everything depends on your ability to make a living. Ping'an, this is a good place. It is very close to Shaoshan Airport. There is a cross-river bridge not far away. The land is connected to the river. You can apply to build a private dock and get a yacht for fun, Wu Sike said directly. Old Wu, have you ever thought about how much I need to invest to give me such a big discount? Once the construction here is completed, what should I do with my headquarters in J City? I guess Mayor Chen will come to me 3 times a day, Su Ping'an said with a gloomy face. Su Ping'an has invested so much in the Hangzhou branch. Do you have the nerve not to invest in your headquarters? Even if Su Ping'an can resist not investing, the local government can't help it. Mayor Chen Qingshan must be intolerable. Wu Sike smiled and kept silent. He understood the meaning of Su Ping'an's words very well. This problem is not so easy to solve. Mr. Su, I analyze that such a big thing must hold a press conference. It can't be concealed. You can only pray for good luck, Wu Sike said with a smile. Su Ping'an slapped his head. Now he has a headache for this matter. Let's take it one step at a time. How is the negotiation of that building going? Su Ping'an asked. The other party is a little worried that we won't pay after the transfer, and is hesitating, Wu Sike said directly. Tomorrow, you and the people from the investment promotion office will find the district leaders to meet with the developer, and ask the developer to give a clear reply, otherwise they will give up the acquisition. Tell him the truth that we have already obtained the land, and this building is just a transition, a dispensable existence, and we don't have time to waste time with them. As for the negotiations with the investment promotion office, you should proceed slowly and strive to pay in batches, Su Ping'an said a little impatiently. Mr. Su, do you believe that if I don't go to them tomorrow, they will come to you? Wu Sike looked at Su Ping'an and said. Su Ping'an was stunned. What does it mean to come to me? He looked at Wu Sike in confusion. When it comes to doing business, Mr. Su, you are the boss, but when it comes to dealing with the government, I am the boss, Wu Sike said very impolitely, and Su Ping'an laughed directly. Yes, Wu Sike has been dealing with government units for so many years, and he has a thorough understanding of the psychology of these people. Every profession has its own expertise. Professional matters should be left to professionals to handle, and you can just grasp the general direction. I'll leave this to you. Just give me a result, Su Ping'an said with a smile, and Wu Sike nodded. Seeing Su Ping'an's fatigue, Wu Sike left directly after talking for a while. Su Ping'an went to sleep. He drank a lot of wine and his head was still a little dizzy. Only after a good sleep could he recover quickly. At noon the next day, Su Ping'an received a call from Wu Sike. He had negotiated with a developer to sell the entire building for 110 million yuan. He would go through the transfer procedures first. After everything was completed, Shaanxi Group would pay. Su Ping'an agreed. Wu Sike signed a contract with a developer as Su Ping'an's representative and filed it with the district government. This was the developer's request. If Shaanxi Group defaulted on the payment, the district government would pay the money. The property rights were very clear, and no mortgage issues were found from the housing authority. Wu Sike also asked the developer to sign several agreements, just in case. Both parties were very cautious. In this environment, caution is necessary. Because those who dare to default on their debts these days are very powerful, and those who are not powerful dare not default on their debts at all. After the transaction was completed, Wu Sike started to negotiate the details with the investment promotion office. Su Ping'an was not idle either. He asked Lin Hanshin to send a team of people to set up a property company to take over the building. At the same time, he began to contact large decoration companies to bid for the overall decoration of the building. 2 days later, Yi Changlin came to find Su Ping'an. 50 assembled computers had been completed. Su Ping'an went to the company in person and started the assessment of each department. After the assessment, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The assessment content was not difficult at all. The company's assessment was not for layoffs. All the assessments were the most basic software operations. Administrative personnel were assessed on office software operations, and programmers were assessed on programming software applications. They were all very basic assessments. Except for the operations department, which did not participate in the assessment, all other departments were assessed. After the assessment of the personnel of the three companies, a total of 62 people from each department did not pass the assessment. These people had nothing to say and could only honestly go to the Human Resources Department to handle the procedures. The personnel adjustment of each department kicked off. Su Pinggan presided over it personally. This is the foundation, which must be solid. After maintaining normal operation, it will be fine-tuned slowly. Shyanki Technology Company is divided into two major departments, the game department and the app development department. The two major departments are divided into several project teams. The operation department that Chang Xingxin is in charge of is also divided into multiple groups, some operating games, and some operating apps. They began to get busy. The framework is ready, and the next step is to slowly fill in the micro adjustments. Wu Sakei's negotiations with the Investment Promotion Office ended. Su Pinggan signed an investment agreement with the HZ municipal government on behalf of Shyanki Group. A land purchase agreement covering an area of more than 300 acres came into effect. The total investment is expected to be 3 billion to build the headquarters of the technology company under Shyanki Group. One day later, Shyanki Technology Company was officially registered in Hangzhou. The three companies acquired by Su Pinggan were merged into the technology company, and the newly purchased building was also merged into the technology company. An agreement was signed with Hangzhou Shyangong Decoration Company, and the overall decoration of the building began. This was a matchmaking by a big man in Hangzhou. After Su Pinggan checked the qualifications of this company, he directly agreed. The two parties signed a cooperation agreement. Hello, I am good, and everyone is good. This is Su Pinggan's concept. The assessment hosted by Yi Changlin also ended perfectly. Su Pinggan hosted the first round of assessment, and 326 employees stayed. Yi Changlin hosted the second round of assessment. This time, the assessment was voluntary. In the future, the company's salary and benefits will be graded. Those who pass the first round of assessment will be the first level, and those who pass the second round of assessment will be the second level. The base salary of the second level is 1,000 higher than the first level, and the corresponding benefits have also been improved, forming a clear ladder. Therefore, the registration is very enthusiastic. After the assessment, only 12 people passed the assessment. Among these 12 people, 9 were the company's original lowest level employees, which surprised many people. Su Pinggan came to the company and directly announced that the company's new recruits in the second half of the year must have the second level, otherwise, the company will not have a position for you, and the second level will automatically be downgraded to the first level starting next year. In the future, the principle of employee benefits and salaries in technology companies will be a grading system. You will get the salary and benefits of your technical level. The assessment will be conducted every 6 months, and it will be clear at a glance. Everything depends on your ability to eat, and those who have no ability are destined to be eliminated. After staying in Hangzhou for almost a month and the technology company became stable, Su Pinggan also obtained a visa to Germany. Because he had investments in Germany, the visa processing speed was very fast, using the green channel, which was twice as fast as the normal speed. Chapter 95. Is it a problem that your name is engraved in the history of human science? Su Pinggan got off the plane in Berlin. Buck from Apocalypse Security Company had already sent a team of guards to the airport. The vehicles were purchased in advance. Germany is a big country of cars. Although other vehicles may be lacking, there will definitely be no lack of various models of cars. 4 special vehicles produced by Volkswagen in Germany, bulletproof and explosion-proof. Bruce obtained Su Pinggan's authorization to purchase 4 vehicles at once, one of which was a larger business type, and the other 3 were ordinary cars. After seeing Su Pinggan coming out, Blacka came over with 2 people. "Boss, I am Captain Blacka, responsible for protecting the boss's safety," Blacka said very respectfully. "Thank you for your hard work," Su Pinggan said with a smile, handed over the salute, and shook hands with Blacka. The group got on the car directly, and the car immediately drove directly from the airport to Dresden. There is no speed limit on the highway in Germany. The speed of the 4 cars was not very fast, and they maintained a normal speed. After more than 2 hours, the vehicle entered Dresden. This time, Su Pingen stayed in a manor-style hotel, Habit Manor. The entire hotel has only 32 independent villas. Each villa is equipped with 3 employees, the scenery is very beautiful, and the price is the same as the suite price of a 5-star hotel. The manor has restaurants, bars, fitness facilities and other places, which are very complete. What a 5-star hotel has, it has here, and what it has here, a 5-star hotel may not have, and a 5-star hotel cannot do horse riding. In addition, the hotel's security force is very strong. Reporters are not allowed to enter, non-resident guests are prohibited from entering, and bodyguards and secretaries need to hold special passes to enter and exit. If they are found secretly filming, the relevant equipment will be confiscated and prosecuted directly. As of today, more than 40 reporters have been prosecuted. Under this pressure, the possibility of secretly filming has been basically eliminated, and it has also been recognized by many wealthy customers. Villa number 07 was booked by Su Pingen. After the vehicle was verified at the gate of the manor, it drove directly over and stopped at the gate of villa number 07. Su Pingen got off the car, and Black and others accompanied him into the villa. Su Pingen sat in the living room and made tea. Black led people to inspect the villa. This professional approach made Su Pingen very satisfied. It was much more professional than the previous team. It was different after professional training. Black came to the living room after the inspection and reported to Su Pingen, "Boss, everything is fine, Black. I am very satisfied with your approach. This is my reward. Each team member will get 1,000, and the rest is yours." Su Pingen smiled and gave Black a check. "Thank you, boss." Black took the check with a happy face. The eyes of the other team members were bright. It was really worthy of being the boss. He was generous. "How do you rest?" Su Pingen asked curiously. "Boss, although this villa has 2 floors, there is only a room for the boss to rest. We opened a room in a hotel not far from here." The team was divided into 2 teams to take turns to guard the boss, Black said seriously. "Okay, you have worked hard. You will get a reward. Go and arrange it," Su Pingen said directly. "Thank you, boss," Black said. Waved his hand and took people out. Arriving at the door, he started to assign personnel. Half of the people went to rest, and the other half were on duty. The checks were cashed today, and the bonuses would be distributed tomorrow. The team members had no objections. The last time, the lay team that escorted the boss received a reward of 3,000 euros per person, but that was the reward when the boss left. No reward was given at the beginning. Now it seems that the boss will definitely give rewards again when he leaves. He called Barry, Bruce, and Neelan and asked them to come to see him tomorrow. Neelan and Barry arranged a time in the morning. This time, Su Pingen planned to confront Neelan. The next morning, after Su Pingen had breakfast, Neelan arrived. Now Neelan is in high spirits. He has his own laboratory and sufficient experimental funds. Although he has not produced any results yet, he is envied by many professors. In addition, Dr. Luck has started a global lecture tour. The cost of a lecture is as high as 1 million euros. Such a high price has not stopped people's enthusiasm. More than 140 lecture contracts have been received. It's really a dream. So far, more than 20 speeches have been given, and each time there is a huge crowd of people, all of whom are elites from various universities and the scientific community. In each speech, the names of Su Pingen, Kyle, Poseidon, including Niren, and Dresden University are mentioned, which makes Niren completely famous. After shaking hands with Su Pingen and sitting down, Niren took the cigarette on the coffee table and handed it to Su Pingen, and lit it for Su Pingen, and finally lit one for himself, and Su Pingen slowly poured 2 small cups of tea. "Niren, what is your wish?" Su Pingen asked calmly. "Boss, I hope my name can be engraved in the history of mankind and become a scientist admired by everyone, just like Teacher Luck," Niren said seriously. Su Pingen nodded to show his understanding. The statue of Dr. Luck has been erected at the University of Dresden. As the creator of superfish oil, he has changed the history of human heart disease and is destined to be recorded by the world. "Anything else?" Su Pingen asked with a smile. "I don't care much about the others," Niren said seriously. "I think you should also get a bonus, and live a rich and leisurely life from now on," Su Pingen said with a smile. "Of course, after I succeed, I will learn from Teacher Lee K to give global speeches, and the money iron will definitely be huge." Of course, the boss's bonus is also indispensable, Niren said with a smile. Su Ping'an raised his teacup and clinked it with Niren. Wait for me, I'll show you something, Su Ping'an said with a smile, and Niren nodded. Su Ping'an stood up and left, went upstairs directly, took out a document from his bedroom, and then returned. He put the document on the table and said with a smile, open it and take a look. Niren picked up the document with a relaxed look and flipped through it. As he looked at it, the relaxed look on his face disappeared, and instead turned into a solemn look. His breathing began to speed up slowly, and he looked at the document with a shocked face, looking at Su Ping'an. Boss, where did the document come from? I can analyze that the data in it is true. No other country in the world has such data. In the research of new solar energy materials, I don't believe that anyone is more advanced than me, Niren said seriously. Neelan, no organization in the world has this document. You are right. You are currently at the forefront of new solar panels, you don't need to consider the source of the document. You just need to consider what this achievement will bring to you. Is it a problem to carve your name in the history of human science? Su Ping'an, stop talking here. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96. Have you considered the interests of your boss? Niren's face showed a thoughtful expression. He had read the information. If the product and the information was really launched, he would definitely be remembered by the world because he had changed the world's energy structure. He would be an idol worshipped by all scientists and worshipped by the world. Think about it, the reputation of the father of new energy will definitely be more famous than Dr. Lek. Don't you want to have it? Su Ping'an said slowly. His voice was full of temptation, and Niren's breathing became more rapid. What do I need to pay? Niren asked with a red face and panting. Loyalty, confidentiality, let this epic-making product come out perfectly, Su Ping'an said expressionlessly looking at Niren. After listening, Niren closed his eyes for a long time without speaking. Judging from the ups and downs of his chest, his inner struggle was very intense. Is it the same for Mr. Lek's superfish oil? Niren asked, staring into Su Ping'an's eyes. Of course, we have an agreement. As long as you abide by the agreement, you are free. I abide by the agreement. Dr. Lek is living a very happy life now. You should know this very well, Su Ping'an said with a smile. Aren't you afraid that Dr. Lek will leak the secret? Niren asked directly. Niren, it depends on you. The signature right of superfish oil belongs to Lek. The bonus we agreed on is 10 million euros. In the end, I gave 30 million euros. We both got what we needed. In the future, people will not remember who the president of the country is, but they will definitely remember Dr. Lek's name. This is the result of our cooperation. It is a win-win situation. Why did Dr. Lek leak the secret and let the world know that he is a liar? Su Ping'an asked back, and Niren was speechless. Niren, you are almost 50 years old this year. You know very well your research. New solar energy materials are not so easy to break through. If you don't have this information, how long will it take you to break through? I analyze that you will never make a breakthrough in your lifetime. You have read the information, you know very well whether what I said is true or false. Do you really want to be ridiculed by your peers for the rest of your life? Su Ping'an said slowly, and Niren's breathing began to quicken again. Under Su Ping'an's guidance, Niren began to replenish his brain automatically. With the most advanced equipment and sufficient funds, he would definitely become a laughingstock among his peers if he had not made any breakthroughs in the past few years, especially those who usually did not get along with him. These people would definitely spread rumors everywhere to ruin his reputation. No, I can never accept this result. Niren's expression began to become firm. Boss, I accept it, Niren said seriously. Happy cooperation, Su Ping'an said, and stretched out his right hand. Niren also stretched out his right hand, and the two shook hands heavily. The following conversation was a little easier, and began to discuss how the product should be interviewed. After talking for more than an hour, Niren left, and Su Ping'an sent Niren to the car before returning. He sat down on the sofa, zingling. Has the biological bomb been installed for him? Su Ping'an asked. It has been installed. If Niren has any intention of leaking secrets, he will die of cerebral hemorrhage directly. Zingling's voice sounded in Su Ping'an's mind. Su Ping'an smiled. picked up the teacup and began to drink slowly. Not long after, the bodyguard came to report, "Boss, Mr. Barry is here, bring him in," Su Pinggan said directly. The bodyguard turned and went out. Not long after, he brought Barry in. Su Pinggan pointed to the seat opposite and asked Barry to sit down. Next, Su Pinggan began to listen to Barry's report, which was very short. There are only 2 projects in the institute at present. One is Naren's new solar energy material, and the other is Professor Boris's new screen material. Barry, have you ever considered introducing some researchers to carry out new projects? Su Pinggan asked slowly. Yes, boss. This is also one of the purposes of my coming today. As long as the boss approves, I will take action immediately, Barry said directly. Oh, so you have a target? Su Pinggan said with a smile. Yes, boss, I have a few targets. Here are the materials. After Barry finished speaking, he took out a stack of materials from the bag next to him and handed them to Su Pinggan with both hands. Su Pinggan took the materials and began to slowly look through them. After a while, Su Pinggan closed the materials. Barry, there are all research institutes here. Are you planning to acquire these research institutes? Su Pinggan asked. Yes, boss. These institutes have invested a lot in research and have been conducting detailed research for about 10 years. They have obtained hundreds of patents. Although there has been no breakthrough yet, I think the time for their breakthrough is coming soon. It is very cost-effective for us to acquire them now. After a large amount of money is invested, once any one of them succeeds, it will bring us profits as huge as the Pacific Ocean, Barry said seriously. Barry, let's not talk about other things. For the new carbon battery mentioned here, how long do you think it will take to make a breakthrough? The information says that the institute has been engaged in research in this area for 12 years and has obtained more than 90 patents. If all the equipment is replaced with the most advanced equipment, what do you think is the probability of them making a breakthrough within 10 years? How much money do we need to invest during this period? Su Pinggan said directly. Boss, if we invest, I think the probability of a breakthrough in the new carbon battery is 50%. It will cost more than 6 million euros to replace the latest equipment, and more than 6 million research expenses will be required each year, Barry said with a serious face. Su Pinggan smiled and looked at Barry. Barry, the reason why the new carbon battery cannot make a breakthrough is because of the problem of electrolyte and new carbon molecule arrangement. Any breakthrough in this will easily win the Nobel Prize. It will cost at least 10 million euros to replace the current top equipment. In addition to the project leader Adair you listed, a whole team is needed. The team must have at least 15 people. The annual experimental materials and staff salaries add up to more than 25 million euros. How much do I need to invest in 10 years? This is just one project. According to the 5 projects you listed, I need to invest more than 600 million euros a year. Don't think about achieving any results within 5 years. Projects are not so easy to break through, and these billions of dollars invested may not be able to see results within 10 years. Have you considered the interests of your boss? Su Pinggan said expressionlessly. Barry opened his mouth and couldn't say anything. Bosses must be the most disgusted with this kind of thing. They will never approve this kind of research plan if they keep investing but don't see any output. Barry couldn't think of anything to say to defend himself. Poseidon's profits are good. After deducting various expenses this year, the net profit will be about 5 billion euros. However, he cannot put all the profits into such a bottomless pit. Su Pinggan's plan is very big, and various investments must be carried out according to the plan. Chapter 97 The boss holds the future in his hands. At present, the mainstream of the world is researching new batteries. I think you should know why carbon batteries are abandoned. There is also the chip project you mentioned. The mainstream chip production now adopts the water immersion process. Why this method is adopted is because the exposure optics cannot reach 20 nanometers. Garbage biodegradation research. This project can be said to be studied by many countries and companies. Once a breakthrough is made, it will definitely generate very high profits in the future. But have you ever thought about how much investment is needed for this kind of garbage degradation treatment, and how long it will take to recover the cost? Su Pinggan asked more than a dozen questions in a row, all of which were questions about Barry's acquisition project. They were very realistic and Barry had no way to refute. Su Pinggan looked at Barry's expression and was very satisfied. Damn, if someone else approved your plan, you would definitely drag them into bankruptcy. Unfortunately, you met me, and these are not problems for me. Boss, I thought wrongly. The angle I considered was the profit that the scientific research project could create in the future, ignoring the time it would take for the project itself to break through. Barry could only say this. Barry, what is your life goal? Sue Pingan looked at Barry and asked. Barry considered the project immature, but he was very good at managing the institute. The original equipment of the institute was refurbished and sold to India by Barry for €3 million, which was not a low price. In addition, the various experimental materials and daily management of the project team led by Naren and Boris in the institute were well organized, which also reflected Barry's value. Boss, my goal is very simple. I can pay off the loan and live a more relaxed life, and have more time to spend with my family, Barry said seriously. This job is very important to Barry. He has a lot of loans and is under great pressure. Once he loses his job and cannot repay the loan on time, the bank will confiscate his money. At that time, I am afraid that his wife and children will leave him. Anything else? Sue Pingan asked calmly, and then took a sip of the teacup. At present, I have no intention of considering anything else. The loan makes me very uncomfortable, Barry said truthfully. In order to pay off the loan, he can only work hard. I can fulfill your wish, Sue Pingan said, looking into Barry's eyes. What do I need to pay? Barry also looked at Sue Pingan and said, his heartbeat accelerated. The boss was going to tell him something confidential. Barry's mind turned quickly. This was his chance. He must seize it. Only by seizing the opportunity to become a core member of the boss's group can he change his life. At the same time, Barry knew very well that there is no free lunch in the world. Be loyal to me, keep company secrets confidential, and work hard, Sue Pingan said slowly. That's so simple, Barry blurted out in astonishment. It's not simple at all, Sue Pingan said, shaking his fingers. After speaking, he stood up, went to the side to get his laptop, turned on the computer and operated it, and looked at Barry. I'm asking you again now, can you do the 3 points I asked? If you regret after reading the information I gave you, the price is to go to see God and repent, Sue Pingan said slowly, without any joking on his face. Barry began to struggle with himself, worried that he would see information he shouldn't know, and for a long time, boss, is what you let me know against the law and conscience? Barry asked seriously. No, it does not violate the laws of any country and the conscience of normal people, Sue Pingan said directly. I don't regret it, Barry said firmly. This is a rare opportunity that must be seized. As long as he becomes the boss's confidant, his financial situation will be thoroughly improved. Okay, take a look, Sue Pingan said slowly, and then turned the computer over and pushed it in front of Barry. Barry began to browse. Nanocarbon magnetic battery technology and manufacturing process. Barry was surprised to see this name, and continued to browse. The more he looked, the more shocked he was. This is completely a technology beyond the times. How could this be possible? His face was full of shock. Boss, this technology. Barry stopped talking here and looked at Sue Pingan with a serious face. How the technology came from, you don't need to know. You just need to promote the reasonable and legal emergence of these technologies at the right time. The institute has achieved results, and you will get a large bonus as the management manager of the institute. These bonuses are used to improve your life. You can live a relaxed and wealthy life. You must be loyal to me and keep the technology confidential. Once the secrets are leaked, you know what the result will be. Sue Pingan stared at Barry's eyes and said slowly. Boss, is superfish oil also a technology provided by the boss? Barry asked seriously. Yes, Dr. Leck kept his promise, and now he lives a very comfortable life, Sue Pingan answered very affirmatively. Barry now fully understands that technology is not a problem for the boss at all. What is lacking is the process of making the technology perfect. He controls the research institute and contacts these researchers, which can perfectly guide these researchers to the right path of research and development. In this way, scientific and technological achievements are legally released, technicians get fame and bonuses, and the boss gets a huge amount of profit. Barry sees through all this, and the boss holds the future in his hands. Boss, I hope to retire in Chiangi. Barry immediately expressed his attitude. Knowing something that should not be known, you must express your attitude, otherwise, whether you can see the sun tomorrow is a problem. The profit involved in this matter is too great. Once you are suspicious of you, it is very easy to make you disappear from the world. Sue Pingan nodded in satisfaction, took back the computer and started to discuss the expansion plan of the institute with Barry. The discussion lasted almost 2 hours and they missed the time for dinner. Barry left with a look of excitement. Starting from this month, Barry's salary will increase by 50%. With a year-end bonus, Barry no longer needs to worry about the bank loan. His life will be much easier, and he will have more time to spend with his family after work. His wish has been fulfilled by 50%. After receiving the year-end bonus at the end of this year, Barry's wish will be completely fulfilled. Sue Pingan had just finished lunch when Bruce came. The two talked for more than half an hour before Bruce left. The next day, Sue Pingan met with Counselor Alman again. The two talked for more than an hour before they separated. In the evening, Sue Pingan attended a small party held by Counselor Alman at his home. There were not many people, only 6 people. This was a small group belonging to Alman. Everyone sat down and chatted while tasting red wine. Chapter 98 Big Bank's profits are beyond your imagination. After a party, Sue Pingan paid 6 checks of €200,000 to express the support of the Apocalypse Group for the 6 counselors, and announced that he would fully support Alman to participate in the mayoral election next year. Barry cooperated with Bruce, and in just 3 days, the Daisy High Energy Battery Research Institute and the Lime Photolithography Research Institute, which were about to go bankrupt, were acquired by the Apocalypse Research Institute. The 2 research institutes spent a total of €11 million. The money is not much, because the Apocalypse Research Institute took on the loans of the 2 research institutes. The Daisy High Energy Battery Research Institute had a loan of more than $4 million, and the Lime Photolithography Research Institute had a loan of more than $5 million, which added up to nearly €9 million. After the acquisition, Dr. Daisy led a team of 8 people, and Lime led a team of 32 people to join the Apocalypse Research Institute. The 2 research institutes have a total of 352 patents that belong to the Apocalypse Research Institute. The relevant procedures have been submitted to the relevant departments and are waiting for approval from the German side. Once approved, the land owned by the 2 research institutes will be sold directly, and the original research equipment will also be sold. At least €8 million of funds can be recovered. Barry's little abacus is clanging, and he will not let go of any of it. At the same time, during the activities of Alman and others, a piece of land belonging to the municipal government next to the Apocalypse Institute was bought by the Apocalypse Institute. The land area is twice that of the Apocalypse Institute, and it cost €6.2 million. The blueprints are ready-made, and the products of the Star Spirit must be exquisite. Barry began to contact the construction company to start the construction. On the basis of not affecting the research of Naren and others, the original institute was also included, and the overall construction was carried out. It is expected to take 4 months to complete, and it will take 6 months to count the greening and decoration. After completion, Sue Pingan left Germany directly and went to the Principality of Liechtenstein, referred to as Liechtenstein. It is an inland pocket country in Central Europe, located between Switzerland and Austria. It is a famous tax haven in Europe. Sue Pingan made an appointment with the VP Bank this time. The bank is a private bank active in the world. Sue Pingan has a lot of deposits in VP Bank. This time he came to apply for VP Bank's Black Card, which is a treatment only for key customers. Hilton Hotel, the suite on the top floor and 2 double rooms and 3 triple rooms on the 8th floor. The suite must belong to Sue Pingan. After Blake checked the room, Sue Pingan checked in. After agreeing to meet with the people from VP Bank tomorrow, Sue Pingan went to rest directly. The next morning, he took the car provided by the hotel and went straight to the headquarters of VP Bank. Sue Pingan reported Sarah's name in the lobby, and the lobby manager was not calm. Sarah was the vice president of the bank, in charge of the bank's key customer department, and was a high-ranking vice president. Soon, Sarah's secretary came down to lead Sue Pingan upstairs, first to handle the business, take pictures, sign agreements, etc., and it took more than 10 minutes to get it done. Sarah and Sue Pingan sat down to talk about things. Sue Pingan's information was too easy to investigate, it can be said to be clear. Except for Sue Pingan's hype of Zuanlin technology, which was not exposed, the fact that he won the prize could not be concealed from these international crocodiles, not to mention that Poseidon has expanded this year. Production bases have been established in Europe, America, and China, basically completing global expansion. More importantly, Poseidon has also acquired 3 biological preparation research institutes in Europe, and plans to relocate to Bordeaux, France after the merger. Because the largest of the 3 research institutes is in Bordeaux, Bruce negotiated with the Bordeaux municipal government to buy a piece of land next to the institute. If the negotiation is passed, it will be expanded. Once completed, it will be the largest dietary supplement research and development base in Europe. After Supingen finishes his work at VP Bank, he will go to France to inspect the institute and handle the change of ownership of the institute. All the institutes will be under the jurisdiction of the Apocalypse Group headquarters, and the results will be used by internal companies first. This is a strategic plan, and Kyle knows it very well. It is good for Poseidon. After all, the research and development costs are not small. After the institute is under the charge of the headquarters, Kyle will pay more net profits every year, and the corresponding bonuses will also increase greatly, so he cooperates particularly well. When Supingen came to Liechtenstein, Bruce went to France to contact the Victory Shield law firm. After all, Supingen has shares in this law firm, which is convenient for handling the patents obtained by the institute. According to Supingen's plan, a sufficiently thick patent barrier must be established. "Sue, does your account need to open a financial channel?" Sarah looked at Supingen and asked. "Of course. One of the reasons I chose VP Bank is because you have a sound financial channel," Supingen said calmly. Sarah nodded and began to believe the internal analysis. According to the internal analysis, although Poseidon is not undervalued, it has not created so much profit now. According to the time of fund transfer in Supingen's account, it is likely related to the stock market fluctuations in Hong Kong. What makes the internal analysis agency of VP Bank headache is that it is impossible to find out the source of Supingen's funds. According to the investigation, the banks where the funds were transferred to Supingen's account all had small-scale system chaos, and the data about Supingen's account was deleted. The final conclusion is that there should be a very strong financial team and hacker team behind Supingen. No matter which one, these two teams are highly destructive. It is strongly recommended to cooperate on equal terms. There are signatures of the three heads of the analysis department at the back, which shows that the analysis department attaches great importance to Supingen. Sarah's inquiry just now also has a certain degree of temptation, and the information obtained is consistent with the inference of the analysis department. "I don't know how much money Mr. Su plans to invest in the financial account," Sarah asked calmly. €2.5 billion is not a lot of money. "I hope to get the leverage of VP Bank at a critical moment," Supingen said slowly while looking at Sarah. "No problem. Mr. Su is a key customer of our large customer department. We will open a 20-fold leverage for Mr. Su for a long time, and it can be operated through the internet. However, if Mr. Su's account suffers a huge loss, we will force him to close the position," Sarah said seriously. "This is a principle that must be set in advance. I know this. What I mean is that sometimes you get a financial leverage of more than 20 times. You know, sometimes opportunities come and you won't wait," Supingen said this expressionlessly. "Okay, Mr. Su, please contact me in advance, and I will help Mr. Su apply," Sarah said with a smile. High leverage means high commissions, which is the bulk of the bank's income. It will definitely not be easily let go. Sometimes the bank will even follow behind to drink soup according to the situation. These are all unspoken rules. The profits of big banks are beyond your imagination. Chapter 99. If I am unhappy, I can't make you happy. After chatting with Sarah for more than half an hour, Sarah's secretary sent a black envelope with the account number and password of Supingen's financial account. Supingen can change the password on the internet at any time and perform online financial operations at the same time, which is very convenient. He went through the transfer procedures directly with Sarah and transferred €2.5 billion from the account to the financial account. After completing the procedures, Supingen left. It is expected that Supingen's exclusive black card will be completed in about a week, and someone will deliver it to Supingen at that time, so there is no need to worry. After playing in Liechtenstein for 3 days, Supingen went to Bordeaux, France. Bordeaux is a famous wine hometown with many wineries, and there are more than 9,000 wine gardens and wine castles. Bruce arranged a place for Supingen to stay in a winery, Goussac Winery, which was acquired by the French Dolly Group 2 years ago and completely renovated. The decoration is luxurious and modern and simple. In the room, Bruce accompanied Supingen to taste red wine. If you come to Bordeaux, you will definitely miss the trip if you don't taste red wine. This is the red wine produced inside the winery, not for the public. Guests staying here can buy 2 bottles before leaving. They won't sell more, only 2 bottles, so it's so cool. Of course, You can drink as much as you want during your stay. Many wine lovers will choose the winery as a vacation spot, where they can relax and enjoy fine wine. According to what you said, the Bordeaux government is not very enthusiastic about our research institute, Su Pinggan said with a frown. Yes, as far as I know, the place where the research institute is located has been spotted by a local wine production company, but the boss of the research institute sold it to us because we offered a high price. This company is a local company in Bordeaux, and it should have been involved in the government's activities. After all, a company can solve the employment of many people, and the research institute doesn't need so many people, Bruce said truthfully. Su Pinggan frowned and began to think. After thinking for a while, he frowned and said, choose another location for the research institute. Give up Bordeaux. After the personnel and machines of the research institute move out, let the land be vacant. Let's talk about it after 10 years, Su Pinggan said indifferently. If you make me unhappy, I can't make you happy. This is Su Pinggan's purpose. You actually want to hit me, then don't blame me for fighting back. I just won't sell it. I won't sell the land to you even if it's vacant. Let's see what you can do. Bruce nodded. He had understood Su Pinggan's meaning and recognized Su Pinggan's approach. Large enterprises must have the majesty of large enterprises. Even if Shanky is not so powerful now, not every enterprise can write on its head. I heard from Kyle that the city of Innsbruck, Austria, has invited us and hopes that our research institute can be settled there. One of the 3 research institutes we acquired is in Innsbruck, Bruce said directly. You can go to Innsbruck, Austria, negotiate with them, and inspect it by the way. If the conditions are right, you can place the research headquarters there, Su Pinggan said directly, and Bruce nodded. The next day, Su Pinggan left Bordeaux. His good mood was gone. Bruce went directly to the Bordeaux city government to withdraw his application for the purchase of land. He said, I won't invest. You look down on me. I don't need to be so eager to help you. At Florence Airport in Italy, Su Pinggan walked out of the airport corridor with the security guards and got on the car sent by the Grand Hotel Pali to leave the airport. The next day, he talked to a young man for more than 2 hours in the hotel and left Italy on the 3rd day. 3 days in Madrid, Spain, 2 days in Switzerland, 2 days in Belgium, 2 days in the Netherlands, and then to Innsbruck, Austria. Bruce had negotiated good terms with a local city government. It was very good. He sold a piece of land in the suburbs to Shanky Group at a very low price, only 50% of the market price. Then he coordinated comprehensively on the respective infrastructure. Of course, it is best to choose a local construction company for the infrastructure of the institute. There is no problem with this. Bruce has agreed to it and promised that the number of institute staff will not be less than 200. After Su Pinggan arrived, he held friendly talks with a local government. Of course, he gave 6 private funds as sponsorship, and also sponsored the parties to which the 6 people belonged. Hello, I am good, everyone is good. The contract was signed smoothly. Shanky Group invested €100 million to establish a biological research institute in Innsbruck. After the contract was signed, the funds arrived at the account of the Innsbruck city government on the same day. The efficiency was very high. The next day, the owner of the construction company, Beit Langney, visited Su Pinggan. Su Pinggan handed the construction drawings to the construction company, and constructed according to the drawings. At the same time, he gave a reward plan. Langney, if you can complete the construction within the time I specified, and the engineering supervision company insists on being qualified, I will give you an additional bonus of €1 million. If you don't complete it on time, I'm sorry, the bonus will not belong to you. If your construction period exceeds the time specified in the contract, you must compensate me. It's your own problem whether you want the €1 million or not, Su Pinggan said, shaking his teacup. After hearing what Su Pinggan said, the owner of the construction company, Langney, immediately lit up his eyes. Please rest assured, Mr. Su, I promise to complete the construction on time and with quality, and I will definitely get the €1 million. Anyone who dares to be lazy and not get the bonus of €1 million will be buried alive. The boss of the construction company, Trani, has made up his mind to get the bonus. After staying in Innsbruck for a week, Su Pinggan and Bruce left and went straight to the British capital London. The hotel they stayed in was the Royal Horse Guards Hotel, a 5-star hotel. Su Pinggan stayed in a suite with 7 standard rooms. He was a big customer, and the hotel sent a car to the airport for free. The next day, Bruce contacted the law firm as planned. According to Su Pingin's requirements, the lawyers of the law firm must be young enough, capable and have means, and preferably have certain connections. At least they must be guaranteed to be stable within 10 years. This requires careful selection. European law firms have their own circles. Bruce knows what he should do and left early in the morning. Su Pingin made a phone call at the hotel and made 9 calls in succession before it ended. This time, I came to London to participate in the Recycling Resources Expo held in London. Europe is relatively advanced in this regard. All countries have corresponding policy support. Moreover, some European countries are relatively small, and they are moving faster in resource recycling and utilization, and the technological content is also relatively high, which is worth learning from. Su Pingin talked with Zingling about the issue of renewable resources. There is no problem with the technology. The key lies in how Su Pingin plays it. It is an industry with a very high profit margin. There are government subsidies from above and resources for sale from below. It is very satisfying to make money on both ends. Chapter 100. You don't understand that feeling. The recycling company that Su Pingin is going to establish is a labor-intensive comprehensive enterprise. It needs a lot of people and can greatly increase the employment rate. This is an enterprise that all governments need. In countries like Europe and the United States, the employment rate is a hard indicator of the government and is related to votes. It is not allowed to be careless. It will take a few days before the recycling exhibition. Since Su Pingin has come to London, he must have a good time. Anyway, there are guards around him, so there's nothing to worry about. He can play freely. On this day, the sky was a bit gloomy. Su Pingin directly chartered a cruise ship and began to tour the scenery on both sides of the Thames River. It was very pleasant. A few stacks of cakes and a bottle of red wine were very leisurely. More than 2 hours later, Bruce got on the boat halfway and gave Su Pingin a document. "Boss, this is the information of the target law firm. You can take a look. If you agree, I will officially contact them tomorrow," Bruce said seriously. "Let me see, you can pour the wine yourself," Su Pingin said with a smile. Bruce also smiled and picked up the bottle to pour a glass of red wine and tasted it slowly. Bruce is very clear about Su Pingin's plan. Germany, Austria, Britain, France, and Italy will all establish their own research institutes, which requires very comprehensive legal support. Germany, France, and Austria do not need to worry about it. They only need to deal with Britain and Italy. Target Law Firm is a law firm that Bruce has repeatedly selected. It was established in 2009, only 4 years ago. It was founded by 8 young lawyers at the beginning. The 8 founders graduated from the Cambridge Law Department together and are all good friends. After graduation, several good friends raised £1.5 million to establish this small law firm. They did not rely on their families to start their own struggles. They were very hard-working. At the beginning, the business was definitely not very good. 4 of them gradually withdrew. Now only 4 are still persisting. The remaining 4 persisted. Starting from small cases, accumulating little by little, they slowly developed into a law firm with 12 formal lawyers, but it is difficult to go further. It is not that the law firm's business is not good, and it is not that the law firm has a low winning rate. There are many clients, but they are all small companies. There is a lack of large corporate partners. If you want to become an influential law firm, it has a lot to do with the size of the clients you serve. Without the support of large enterprises, it is difficult to develop into a large law firm. After 4 years of training, these 4 young people have been greatly trained. According to Bruce's investigation, these 4 shareholders are calm and flexible in their work, and have the foundation for the next step. Once they become shareholders, they don't need to worry about legal issues in the UK for the next 10 years. Bruce, talk to them directly tomorrow. The target law firm is worth owning. Just guarantee more than 20% of the shares, Su Pingin said directly. Okay, I will contact them tonight, Bruce said directly. Boss, I will go to Italy after the law firm is settled. Do you have any instructions? Bruce asked. In addition to investigating the Italian law firm, you must also investigate the Italian Mechanical Research Institute. The layout must be completed, Su Pingin looked at Bruce and said seriously. Bruce nodded seriously, knowing very well what Su Pingin's layout was. In the evening, in the office of Hunter, the general manager of Target Law Firm, Hunter, Nelson, Austin, Stone, 3 men and 1 woman, drank red wine and discussed the issue of foreign investment. The four of them were a little difficult to make up their minds, and they were a little reluctant to give up the cooperation with Apocalypse Group. Hunter, has the other party quoted a price? Stone asked. Although she was a woman, she was very capable and maintained the highest personal winning rate in the law firm. Not yet. The person who called me was Bruce, the exclusive lawyer of the chairman of the Apocalypse Group. If we agree, we will have formal negotiations tomorrow. Once the cooperation is reached, all legal issues of the Apocalypse Group in the UK will be taken over by our law firm, Hunter said seriously. Does the Apocalypse Group want to control the shares? Nelson asked. This shows that we don't seek to control the shares, only dividends, and do not participate in the daily management of the law firm, and require more than 20% of the shares, Hunter told the truth. I think we can talk about it. Although the Apocalypse Group is not very famous, its subsidiary Poseidon is very famous. As far as I know, the London financial company has valued Poseidon at €30 billion. With superfish oil, Poseidon will develop into a large international company. This is recognized. No matter which country it is, it cannot do without superfish oil, Austin said seriously. I think so too. With superfish oil in hand, the Apocalypse Group can avoid many blows. Their chairman is not simple. As far as I know, Poseidon has acquired 3 biological research institutes in Europe. The R&D headquarters has been settled in Austria some time ago. I analyzed that the Apocalypse Group's visit to the UK this time is related to the upcoming Renewable Resources exhibition. Germany and Austria both have R&D centers. Together with the UK, they are laying out scientific research centers. Hunter's eyes lit up when he said this, and so did the others, who keenly discovered the strategic planning of the Apocalypse Group. Hunter, have a serious talk with them tomorrow. The success of Apocalypse Group is not a fluke. The luckiest person of this century is not that simple. I have this feeling, Stone said seriously, and the others nodded. I think we need to work overtime today and study Apocalypse Group or Poseidon Company carefully to see if he is really planning. If so, we must establish a cooperative relationship with Apocalypse, which is related to the level of our law firm, Nelson said seriously. I agree to work overtime, Austin said. Okay, I agree, but you have to face my boyfriend's anger. I promised to accompany him tonight, Stone said with a smile, and Hunter and others slapped their heads. Stone's boyfriend Rudd is a standard muscular man. He belongs to the British Military Special Forces and has the rank of captain. Ping rarely has a vacation. He and Stone are rarely together. Stone went home late tonight, and he might come to the door tomorrow. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.